Good evening. It is evening. Yes. Thank you, Captain Obvious. What's up, everybody? It's been an exciting week of YouTube. So let's see. We're going to put a link out tonight. We'll talk about whatever you want. Whatever you want. So if you're new to the channel, I go live almost every morning. Well, Monday through Friday, usually Monday, Wednesday, Friday. Tuesday and Thursday is at my discretion, depending on my workload. And then Saturday night, we try to do the weekend forum where we can talk about trucks, we can talk about music, we can talk about life, we can talk about everything. That's what we do. That's what I do. I don't know what you do. Anyways, I hope you guys enjoyed the little live feed that Shannon and I did. Shannon Thomas Trucking did from her truck last night. It was late. I think there was about 12 of you in there. So, no, I think we actually got up to 19 in there. So, she's a YouTube junkie. We talked about that. We talked about her YouTube junkie problems, and she's not even in here. So, there's that. Probably in bed. It's kind of late, isn't it? It's 8:44 Central. Pale Rider did not go live last night, so I was kind of bummed out about that. But, oh, there she is. There's the YouTube junkie. Anyways, yeah, so here we are. It's Saturday night. I hope you guys are doing all right, and hope you're enjoying yourselves. A couple other YouTubers were live in our little circle, and I figured I'd break the monotony of monotony of just BS. So, all right. So DIY Semi, he was live yesterday or last night, and it was a good live feed. I was in it for a big part of it, and he had some really good discussions. And then he was live earlier today. I was working on invoicing and a couple other things, and it was a great live feed. It's about being able to, expose and find these scamming brokers, and also a website that helps you go after these brokers when they don't pay you. So it was really good. It was a really good live stream. I shared it on my community page. Also, on my community page, I was like, hey, so my members, if you want to be a member of the channel, what do you want to do? Now, I don't want to do members only live streams because I've only got like 12 members, so that would be but I might do some recorded videos where I chop up live feeds or make these weekend live feeds members only after the video's done. So we might try that. Also, if you're a member, email me in the email address that's in the description if you want a guitar pick that says Snorelord, strength for today, hope for tomorrow. I will send it to you because you're a member, because I like you, right? Because I like my members. So that's one of the perks. I mean, so, and also you have my email, and if you need something, you can get a hold of me if you need somebody to vent to, or you have a question about being an owner operator, or even if you got a question about what guitar to buy, I can possibly give you my 2 cents and go from there. Because the wider spectrum of trying to figure things out, the better. Because you don't want to just go by one person's advice. You don't want to do that. So yes, the email is in the description. So it's in there somewhere with all the BS. I'm looking at it right now. So other than that, we've had a good weekend. But yeah, please check out DIY Semi. He did a really good live feed earlier today, and then a really good one last night where, we're trying to get some positivity, right? Because there's a lot of people struggling right now. A lot of people are trapped in their heads and can't seem to, get out of their heads, get out of their own way. And that's something that's kind of important right now. So we'll get some we'll get some comments here, and I'll put a link out. Now, here's the rules with the link. Don't be belligerent. Don't curse a whole lot. And don't be driving. If you're driving, you need your camera off. I don't want to be a part of that. Other than that, you know, we can talk about whatever you want. If you have any questions, we can go over numbers. We can go over, which truck's better, Kenworth or Freightliner. We did a big discussion about that in Shannon's live last night. And we could talk. I mean, look, we're pretty open minded around here. We can talk about anything. Pigtail, what's up? Todd Blackburn, what's up? Max Force, Gary Bates, what's up? Dying Breed, hello YouTube. It's your favorite American local truck driver checking in from Georgia. You still doing the tank thing? CDN says, good evening, CDN. Good evening, Mr. Steve. You're on fire these days. Gosh, I hope not. That burns. Excited live with DIY Friday night. It was a great live feed. And I hated to cut it short on my end, but they got along without me, so that was great. We had me, Fate, and Jackknife TV in there. Jackknife came in after I left, so he took the slack. So DIY made some very good points, and that's kind of been my approach too. Is let's look, whether you think things are bad or not, let's figure it out. Let's see if we can figure things out. Get your mind in the right place, because without you can have the best truck, the best money, running capital, you can have all that, but if you don't have the right mindset, it does you no good. So boom. CDN, did you see DIY's live feed from today? I highly suggest you watch that. Miscreants, what's up with both feet? Pleasant surprise for this peasant. I'm ready for the cold low board action. Now, that's the one thing we won't do. We won't go over low boards. They're kind of pointless on the weekends. Bandit Jr., good to see you. I hope everything's doing well, man. You've had a rough time, and I hope everything's fine now. I've not kept up. I'm trying to be less and less on Facebook. And guys, I can't tell you, you need to read the book, The Hacking of the American Mind by Dr. Robert Lustig. I just cannot. I did another few chapters today. Oh my gosh. I just can't express how important that book is to you. Take a second, dramatic pause for effect. The Hacking of the American Mind by Dr. Robert Lustig. Here, I'll put it up on the screen even. I'm telling you, this book will change your perception of everything. There it is. I'll even put the dang link in the thingamajigger. There it is in the thingamajigger. All right, everybody saying hi to each other. There's Shannon. Dying Breed says subbed. Both great lives, DIY, says Shannon. Taking a break until the new year, Steve, but keep being you. All right, Britt, take it easy, man. We got all bunch of tankering anchors in here. What's up with that? T-Bone, what's up? Still working on her drum. Now Shannon's trying to get me to lose on the drum off, right? She's like, everybody can pick their own song. I'm like, well, T-Bone's obviously going to pick War Pigs, and I'm going to pick like some like weird punk song, and he's going to win. Hey, I'm a member of the Metal Snorelord Army. Thank you very much. You are a member. Fate, what's up? Good evening. Shannon's truck has booby traps. I didn't see any. I mean, other than that word Cascadia, that kind of freaked me out. So, there's that. Yes, sir. I'm still a local tanker yanker. There you go. Dang, name keeps getting longer. Snorelord, the Metalhead Viking, K-Man, Trucker, Lowboard, Guru, Guitar, recommending Pickle Tosser. I don't think YouTube will let it get that long, T-Bone. I don't think they'll let it get that long. This is getting out of hand. You know what's funny is I think James Best was live one day, and I made a comment in there. This is like a couple of years ago, and Lil Dog was in there, and he's like, "Snorelord, can you get your name any longer?" And I said, "Yeah." And I think I added a name just to spite. I could be honorary if I want. I deleted Facebook about 2 months ago. Been wonderful. Oh, okay. I noticed you haven't been posting. And that's kind of what this book talks about. It goes into that, but it also goes into our food. It goes into the dopamine versus serotonin. It goes into cortisol, which I think cortisol, if you're having trouble losing weight and you're eating right, cortisol might be your problem. So it's a thing, man. It's a thing, but it goes beyond that. It's not just talking about food or diet. It's talking about everything. Gives a history of medical experiments with marijuana and LSD and all that, and it goes into what the corporations have done. It goes into the politics of what I mean. A lot of the roots of evil that we see now started with Nixon and some of the stuff that happened in the government at that time. I mean, it's pretty it's very eye opening. It kind of depresses you. It's kind of depressing. So Nevada, what's up? Stuart, good evening. I saw you sneak in here. Let's see. There's my link. It looks like it put it in 2 links, so that's lame. Fate Truck a Boom, Get It Right, DIY Semi. I'm reading the book today. Oh, excellent, Shannon. Excellent. Merry Christmas. Another year in the books, Johnny Sacco. 2 minutes to midnight. Johnny, how you doing, man? You haven't been in here in a while. We'll say DIY had some good content this afternoon. I know. And see, here's the thing with YouTube. And I was texting with Adam after the live feed. I shared it, and I was like, he was like, "Wow, there's hardly anybody in there." I said, "Yeah, afternoon algorithms are difficult. YouTube doesn't like a lot of those. I never have good luck with Saturday afternoons. Hell, I'm barely having any luck with Saturday evening. It's only 23 people in here, but every single person in here is important to me, so that's good. But Saturdays are hit and miss, but Monday through Friday in the morning between 6 and 7, man, I'm at almost over 70 people. So I think 75 has been my highest on that. You never know. The crowd is fickle. Mud flapping little America in Wyoming for $3.58 a gallon. That's good news. Good news. Sterling, good morning. Good morning. What did I miss? Dealing with the rush slow, but truck broke down 5 hours from destination. Ouch. Been there, done that. Wheel burner, what's up? 53 reefer to hell. 2 snowplows just went by going the other way. I'm only half done for the day. Big storm coming in Idaho. That is true. Welcome back. Haven't seen you in a minute. Mr. Door Stalker at 4 in the morning. What's up? How you doing? Food Mooch. That's his other name. Time for tacos and beer. I have the beer, believe it or not, but I don't have the tacos. I'll have a taco later. Nothing Woody. Nixon took us off the gold standard, so there's no telling what other. Well, I mean, the book talks about it. Nothing Woody. He talks about a lot of the government stuff when it comes to food subsidies and corporate rights, and how they fix the system where corporations can influence politics. That started in the Nixon administration. So the corporations rule our world. That's why your DEF system is draining you of all your money if you're a small trucking business. You would have more in your life if you pull out the guitar and start playing. Welcome back. When I do the guitar live feeds, I get maybe 15 people in there. And if I go live with the guitar every weekend, you guys will figure out that I'm not that good. So shared out this live. Let's see if the numbers increase. Well, it's increased a little bit. We're up to 30 now. So what's up, Asian Mai? How's it going? I'm sorry, Mother Trucker. Speaking of name changing, making it all long and everything, I didn't know you had a channel, Shannon. I'll check it out this week. Yeah, man. Mad as hell, not taking any more. Play Mad as hell, not taking more. Still valid today. That is true. That is true. Let's see. Government tomfoolery, right? Yeah, that's why I'm gonna get kind of I'm gonna get shadow banned. Shadow banned. So, all right, remember the rules. I'm gonna put the link in here. And if you guys want to step in, and I got to see you, right? Like, if I don't recognize the name, I got to be able to see you, because we had a person try to come in that was showing his private parts, and I'm not sure why, but I did not let that person in the StreamYard. So, can I play the banjo? No. So here's a funny story. So we were at GATS, Great American Truck Show back in Dallas, back when they still had that, and one of my friends, Harold Huffman, one of our contractors here at Like at the time, he had a banjo. He brought it with him, and I think he had it in the truck all along because he thought he was going to pick it up. But as an owner operator that self dispatch, you realize that you really don't have any free time to learn new things like instruments and stuff. So he brought it out, and I don't even know how to tune a banjo, right? So I'm like plucking around, and everybody's like looking at me like, "Oh, what's Steve gonna do?" And I'm like, I got nothing. So, I mean, I'm sure a quick Google search and you can get tuner apps on your phone, and so I was tempted to do something like just like fake my way, kind of like what I do with the guitar, but I decided not to. But it was neat. Mrs. Nevada, what's up? Let's see. Queensryche, Operation Mind Crime, I think you meant. Another album written 20 years early. Mad as hell. I don't know who you are, but obviously you've been subscribed for at least an hour. Operation Mindcrime was ahead of its time on many levels and is one of the best albums. It is a top 10 album of all time for me. I mean, if I'm doing back when I was driving a truck, if I was doing it overnight, man, that album was coming on. What is up, my friend, Mr. DIY?
I'm sorry about that private parts thing. I thought I was coming into a different live stream. I meant to enter a different live stream, and ended
It
up
was
here.
you.
Be
It was
careful
you.
about putting that link out there.
Hey,
Creeps like me will show up.
man, your office is real. I mean, you kind of spiffy things up in your office, man. That's pretty cool.
I like to feng shui the thing.
Feng shui. You got now. So here's what you need next. You need a heavy metal logo like mine and just have it behind you. So when these TikTokers steal your content, they know who they're getting it from.
Ooh.
I actually had that happen. There was a friend of mine sent me a link to a TikTok. I'm like, so I opened it with the browser because I don't have TikTok, and it was I don't even know who. It was like some chick that. It was when CDN and I were talking, and I had the truck in the background instead of my logo,
Mm-hmm.
and she kept showing her face like mm-hmm, like she was agreeing with everything that was being said. But I'm like, what the hell? Taking my content? How dare you? At least give me credit. So I told people that I know, hey, get on your evil, very invasive, TikTok and type in where you saw that, where that video is from originally. Help a brother out, right?
Now, by TikTok, is that what we used to call it? Is that one of those things we used to call a grandfather clock? I'm not familiar with a TikTok.
Nor should you.
Can I catch that in the Viet Cong jungle?
Yes. You definitely get a disease from it, that's for sure. I mean, it makes your kids eat Tide Pods and the whole 9 yards. That's what it does.
Whew, that's the worst of the worst. No penicillin going to cure that.
So, are you up late working, or what are you doing?
Yeah, I was just finished payroll. I was doing some invoicing now, and I'm going to hang it up pretty soon. I've been at this crap all day.
I was invoicing earlier with the dispatch thing. So
Yeah.
and then I just had a driver text me. I forgot he was delivering tonight. And so yeah, I'm always working, man. You know how it is. You
Yeah.
never sleep.
You work when you just have the time and you're left alone and it's quiet. And
Yeah, that's why I go live early in the morning, because normally I don't get bothered. Uh-oh. The British are here.
Yeah.
uh-oh.
I'm even in my bed, but the private parts are staying tucked away right now.
Is this a hotel review channel?
No, I'm just the wife's out in the living room doing something, so I'm in here. I just figured I'd say, hey, that was a good live earlier. There was lots of content, lots of good.
Oh, thank you.
Lots of good.
They're a good company. I checked them out, and they go way further than anybody else does with the collections thing. And
can I say something? One thing from it, one thing it made me realize is how much a lot of people don't know about the industry, just like from a rights standpoint, you know. And I always thought I was pretty up to it. I mean, like, I consider myself pretty up to date on that stuff, and I always thought, like, you know, one thing, like when I negotiated, the tension rates I never really fought for too much. I would always try and get that money up front and stuff like that, because I know Essex-Oriels, or I was under the impression you can never fight for it, right? If you go and file on a bond, right, the bond doesn't have to pay out on Essex-Oriels. It's just line haul rate. So, but as of today, seeing from what he's just said, that might change the game a little bit, you know?
Yeah, and we talked privately. Well, we just touched on it, but we talked privately more about the tariff rates and tariff sheets. I never really thought. I used to have a tariff sheet for my company. I never send it out. I think I'm going to start sending it with every packet and every rate count or whatever. But where it really comes into play is if you have to go to collections.
Yeah.
Other than that, I mean, they don't really even care. Nobody's going to look at it. But if you have one and you go to fight for these things, you got a leg to stand on. So I'm hoping to get him back on. I hope that today did him some good. I hope some people join, because I want him to come back and talk to us more. Tell us all about these tariff sheets, because he told me, he's like, it's like it kind of went away with deregulation, but it didn't. It just got ignored, and it's still kind of a thing. So he says everybody that signs up, this is one thing he didn't say. Everybody that signs up for the freight checkers, for the membership, not the free version, but the other, he says they make them a tariff sheet and send it to you.
That's good. That's good. But and the one thing that how do I put this is, do you feel sometimes when you talk about that stuff, like about tariff sheets and collections, do you feel that you're talking college stuff when we should maybe looking at elementary stuff? Does that make sense what I'm trying to say?
It does, and I've thought about that, but like, I don't know any other way to do it. I can't.
I get it, because there's, before you even get to collections, right, there's so many steps that you go to before we even get to that point. And it's like, sometimes I feel like, if we protected ourselves, in a negotiation, all the way up to signing when you do a carrier packet, right, and just going through it with the red pen and checking it out, there's so much more we can do to protect ourselves as an individual.
Yeah, I mean,
get to the collections point. And that, why are we, I asked myself, why are we skipping that stuff? Not talking about looking at the fine print on a contract before we commit ourselves.
How do we get people to even read the contracts that they're signing? So
most people don't. I mean, I know a carrier that actually will do, like, when he sends in the rate con, he goes, okay, I just signed the rate con, but here's my accessorial page. And he's a reefer. And he found that like half the brokers won't work with him because of that, because they don't want anything to do with it.
Yes, I don't know, Stuart. That's a very good thing. I just don't know how to do it. Like, to make people do things against their will. They just want everybody else to do it for them sometimes. Like, especially the stuff that's hard.
It's the boring stuff that no one. I mean, and it gets confusing.
Yeah, it's like accounting.
Turn the contract upside down, right? And having to understand.
It's like the people who just throw all their receipts in a shoebox, and at the end of the year, you take them to your accountant. What, like, you got to participate in that. How do you don't know anything about your business. You don't know if you're profitable. You know, if you're a business owner, you got to know accounting, record keeping, bookkeeping. Like, it's
all right, guys.
I don't. Uh-oh.
A real YouTuber's in here.
He is.
What? Where?
What's up, Alex? I see the wife running around back there.
Oh yeah.
Look
my God. Yeah.
Keep that hat on standby.
DIY.
Yeah.
I caught that live earlier today too. Sometimes I don't say anything. I just listen like a creeper behind a bush.
Creeper.
Like
I believe that. I believe Alex is a creeper.
But no, honestly, we need to get you back on my show, but to talk about that, that'd be awesome. And then Snorelord, we're always talking about something on the show. You know what I mean? Because I gotta get you back on the show.
Oh yeah, I mean, we did a whole interview. Do you still have that footage? Like that was like 2 years ago, I think.
Oh yeah, no, but we need to do some update stuff. I mean, it's one of those things where I just want to share your guys' stuff because it's like it's the real deal. You know what I mean? So it's
there has to be more good content out here than just nonsense, because people need it right now, man, and they're gonna need it more. It's gonna become so important.
It's almost like, I'll be honest, I almost want to go back to like almost 2-3 years ago. Like 2 years ago, when even like 9 months ago, when the rates were incredibly high. It's like people watch some of those videos that I made 10 months ago where people were doing really well, but then they don't look at the date. And then they look at it, and I'm like, I think I need to go back and private some of these videos, because there's videos I've done from 5 years ago where I'm just, the market's killing it, everyone's doing really well, you know what I mean? And then people don't look back on the date, and people get the wrong idea. Then I get, a hate email later saying, hey, you told me in this video that you just recently made that, that I would be I'd have $10 million in my bank, and you lied to me because I've been trucking now for 4 months and I'm very far from that 10 million in my bank. And I'm like, well, I don't know who told you that much, but you know what I mean? So
people hear what they want to hear though too. You can't fix that.
You're probably right about that. I would honestly say, tell me if you agree with this or not. Whatever you made up in your mind, you will search on Google until someone agrees with you.
Yeah.
Echo chambers.
So you're looking for a supporting opinion. Affirmation. You're looking for affirmation.
Yeah. But no, I would love to do one of these lives where we get everybody on, all the YouTubers on, and then I'll host it on my show just to give people some more shine. That'd be awesome. We got to find a day to do that.
That'd be, dude, you've always been, I've known you for a few years, and you've always been supportive of YouTubers, regardless of their channel size. And I appreciate you, Alex.
Oh, come on, man. And
you make killer t-shirts, man. I think I bought like 5 t-shirts at Matt's this past year.
No, thank you for that support. That ain't me. That's my team that does all the designing. I just pretend like I know what the hell I'm talking about, which I don't. You know what I mean?
Fake it till you make it.
Hey, that's pretty much all it is, right? But it's one of those things where I would honestly say, like, to get a lot of followers, all this kind of crap, it's a lot of random luck. And at one point, the honest truth, it's just the algorithm. If I started a channel right now from zero and I posted the same video on the Mother Trucker channel, then I did the Mother Trucker 2 channel that had 0 followers, I guarantee you it would have different viewership.
Yeah, so, I mean, I have 2 channels, and the other one I can't seem to. I don't know my direction of the other channel. I think that's part of it. I'm going to do a podcast. I'm going to talk about non-trucking stuff, and I don't know how to manipulate the algorithms. I mean, you're a master at that. I mean, you know that game, because YouTube's a business, right?
Yeah.
I mean, you know, you're coming from being an owner operator. It's the same thing almost.
Well, the thing about it that everyone hates, and I'm gonna be, I don't even have to be honest about it. There are millions of videos that go on YouTube within seconds. So if you don't have the most exciting, let me use the most negative word on YouTube, clickbaity title that you can have for someone to click it, they're not going to click it, you know? And so that's just what it is. It's, you just have to have content that, you know, supports the clickbait, but you got to have, you know, I got to see all your six-pack muscles, Snorelord, you know, you having me choking me up like this and going, the death of Mother Trucker, and then start off and be like, I hate that guy, and then, you know what I mean, and then it's a little bit of that, because it's a you just have to get people to click the damn video, right? Like I interviewed a guy today where with the there's a CRST driver, and you know, what was it, in February he got stabbed 12 times, and you know, it ended his life, and his family wanted to be on the show.
Wow.
And so they wanted some relief just to talk about it, because I guess a lot of people in the comments when I released the video back then said, well, the trainer must have done something for him to deserve that. And I guess it hurt the family's feelings. And so they kind of wanted to be on the show, I think, just to express themselves, that their uncle wasn't this monster that was whipping the trainee that made him led to whatever, right? It's still under trial or whatnot, but
some people just aren't wired right.
Exactly. So you know, the video is really about, if you're trainer, trainee, co-op, it doesn't matter. If you feel that it's unsafe, you got to get off of that truck, regardless if the safety manager says yes or no, right?
Yeah.
And the reason I bring that up is I told the family, I said, look, what do you want out of this video? And they said, we want people to see it. I said, we want people to know that if you're unhappy or feel unsafe in a truck with another person, it's almost like that type of PSA. I go, okay, so I'm just letting you know this title is going to be pretty raw if you want people to see it. So I put the title, you know, truck driver or trainee stabs trainer 12 times, right? And some people would call me a monster for that, but people watch it and they go, wait a minute. I told my safety manager that I wasn't getting along with the driver, and he told me it waited out 4 months. Maybe I should get off the truck. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So,
yeah, definitely.
So sometimes I kind of feel bad about it myself, where I'm just like, is this title I'm putting a little bit too raw? But it's to mean well. We want people to see it so that you get the message that we don't want it to be a situation where it ends up this violently. So,
well, you're
you know
using the system, you're manipulating the system, right? You know what really gets me is the fear-mongering. Like, you know, the whole prepper genre is really bad about that. It's like, there's only going to be 2 days. I mean, I had people calling me going, I heard there's only going to be 20 days of diesel and we're going to run out of diesel, you know, and I was like,
right. But you see, and it's funny you say that, because I do another radio show, Mind Your Trucking Business, on TNC Radio. And we were talking about that, talking with somebody out of the actual oil industry. And the thing that most people don't realize is America only keeps about a 25 to 40 day supply of diesel anyway. We're just like hovering right around that 20 to 25 day. And it's like, no, we're not running out. We're just a little bit below our normal stores. And it's like, oh, holy cow, people.
But it gets you clicks. I mean, that's why we ran out of toilet paper a couple of years ago. That's why ammo became $60 a box, because everybody was freaking out, you know?
Yeah,
exactly.
That's true. I actually got a lot of hate for that, for doing the opposite. For once I didn't clickbait it and I said, hey guys, 20 blah, blah, blah days, truth exposed, not real, blah, blah, blah. And they're like, it's real. Tucker Carlson said it was real. Alex, you know, you're going to hell. It is real. Watch in 20 days, we're going to run out of diesel fuel. It's going to be on your hands. You know?
Yeah, but
I was like,
Tucker Carlson, you got to ask yourself, can Tucker Carlson expose raw video?
Yeah, right.
Hey, I'm telling you guys right now, whatever titles I'm using, things I'm using, use them. If the video is good and it warrants it, I'm telling you, people, well, I mean, I won't lie. I get a lot of hate too. Okay. You got to be able to live with it.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah.
But
You got to have thick skin. Definitely.
Yeah. But if you have a great message, you know, I recommend you, you know, clickbait it in a way where it's real. Like, for example, you know, like DIY's video. It's like exposing brokers' websites, you know. Hey, put that damn title. You know, don't be nice about it and put this video right here might hurt or might not hurt, and it could potentially hurt a broker, but we want to be nice about it. Like, look at this website.
How about this?
Every damn broker scams and expose and you know, and cheats truck drivers from being able to feed their baby that's about to die. You know?
How about this? Brokers exposing themselves on websites. Watch this before your child is abducted and kidnapped and murdered. Is that too far?
You're almost there.
Okay.
Almost there, but
your dog might die.
No, seriously, like it almost has to be within the lines of just the reason why your wife is about to leave you and your kids call the neighbor dad is because of this broker's taking your money, you know? And it's like, I know we're making fun of it, but it's almost like, all right, I don't believe Alex. What the hell is he talking about? Exclusive interview, trainee stabs trainer, and then they watch the video and go, wait a minute, Alex is actually interviewing the family of the victim or what have you. And so you got to actually do what you're saying. You can't say truck crashes into White House. There better be some kind of truck crashing into something, right? And so
in regards to doing what you're saying, did she actually say yes, or was that just for the video?
Actually, no, she did say yes. She actually didn't know it was filming.
How bad of a beating did you take for that one?
I'll tell you what.
You're lucky she said yes. You'd have looked really bad.
I'll tell you this one thing. It was a good day for truck drivers because every truck driver commented and emailed me and said, Alex, that was the worst proposal in the effing world. And you made my proposal at Chuck E. Cheese on the backside of the food court, you know, in front of Sears look way better than that. And I go, well, I'm very happy that I was able to do that for you, you know, so I guess it served its purpose.
Alex, I do have one bone to pick with you that made me roll my eyes. You did a video about.
Sure. I already know which one you're going to say. Can I guess?
Well, go ahead. Guess.
I used the word force on a video where saying that.
I know. I got the blingy shit. That's why I can't fucking put the goddamn camera on me.
Or what up? Let me try and guess. What up? Well, what up? Let me see. Forced driver to drive, you know, and something like that. Oh, and I think you put a comment back because I read every single comment. You put, no one can force you to do anything, Alex.
Yeah. No one's got to. Okay, no, the one that's a good one, but the one that I was talking about was like 6 months ago when everybody's broker bashing, right? And you said that brokers actually went through the truck stop checking to see if trucks had seals. And if
that's what a guy told me in Miami.
You should like call somebody like me to confirm that because that was kind of ridiculous.
I thought it was ridiculous.
What's up?
But it's one of those things where I just thought it was hilarious.
It was.
And, you know, so it's one of those things where I need to have you guys on here and there, but I'm not gonna lie. Some people don't understand my comedy either, and so it's a little bit of both. But this guy swore to me that in Miami, that's what these brokers were doing, and I was like, "That's a video. I love it."
Yeah,
Yeah,
I wish I had that kind of free time.
The craziest thing, right, is people want to complain about brokers, but if all the brokers just shut their doors and walked away, people would complain because there's no brokers. You know what I mean? So if people are really going to complain, no matter which way anybody goes, they're still going to complain. Complainers are complainers. That's what way it is.
No, I 100% agree about that because a lot. So going to all these, I consider them friends, right? I go to all these truck shows. I interview drivers, right? That's kind of like a segment I do, and then I become friends with some of these guys that own 12 to 15 to 20 fleet trucks that they're all souped out trucks. And I talk to them and I go, "Hey man, how are you doing right now?" And the honest truth, a lot of them are like, "Alex, thank God when everything was great, I saved all my money." Right. And so I think sometimes, people look at these big trucks and nice trucks and they go, "These guys are really making it." I think they just understand that when things are extremely great, it drops pretty fast too. So they end up saving a lot of that money. It's like, but I don't know. It's just one of those things where DIY, like Rob Hallahan and all those guys. You know what I mean?
I met some of the guys you're hanging around with at the truck show.
And I asked them the truth, and they say they're still surviving. They're not killing it, but they're surviving.
It's a roller coaster ride, and that's just what it is. I just bought a truck at the Richard Brothers auction. So everybody else is wondering, hey man, how are we gonna make it? Some of us are still, running a business, and that's what it is, man. Is you have to have a business mindset, and this ain't just trucking. It's just any business, every business out there. It don't matter if it's a McDonald's or what it is. You have to have the business mindset, and when things are really, really great, put that money up like it's not. That way, when things are kind of bad, you got that security right there.
Well, that's great advice. I think that's great advice, Oko.
Well, some of the best advice that I heard was, there's this, a few years ago when the rates were dropping and all these big YouTubers were doing this circle on how to survive a down market. And one person got on there and literally said this is how you run a down market. The same way you run a good market. You keep your costs low, you be efficient as possible, and you're smart with your money.
Nothing changes.
Nothing changes.
The whole thing is nothing changes in business. You run your business plan, and when you run your business plan, you plan your business and budget yourself on worst case scenario. So it doesn't matter what your bank account says. You're running it exactly that, and nothing changes. Like my business mind has not changed. I'm doing it just like I've always done it, and that's what people got to realize. And what happens is a lot of folks, they're making a whole lot of money and they blow it and have a good time. They go buy all these cars and pickup trucks and houses and all this crazy stuff that ain't gonna make them no money, and these expensive trucks. And then when things are bad, like, oh crap, what are we gonna do, guys? No, we ain't doing nothing. We're doing what we always did. You screwed up.
Yeah, but it goes much deeper than that, right? It's the level of entry to becoming an owner operator or a lease operator. I mean, look, you can even argue today, right? The standard to get a CDL. I mean, you look at the whole thing in Colorado where that guy came down the mountain. The first excuse out of his mouth was, "I couldn't read the signs," because he was Hispanic. Well, it's like, well, in the driver's handbook last time I read it says you should understand and be able to read and write English, right? If you can't read the sign, so we've lowered the bar so low, from a driving standpoint to a business standpoint. I mean, back in the UK, you're required to sit a test if you want to be a carrier. You're required to do it. If it's a pass-fail test. I mean, my dad's brother failed it, and my dad ended up having to sit it for him. I mean, and so you can't even own a carrier unless you can pass a basic business test. But if you don't understand business and then go and blame the broker when you've just agreed to a rate, it's like you just got a deal which you have no idea on what you're getting involved in. And, now we ask for protection from the government, right? Hey, we need to do this, we need to do that. And we bitch and complain about stuff when we've
That's
just
the worst thing you can do is ask the government for help, man. You always want to keep the
agree.
Well,
government
you know where that comes from, because they want new
welfare.
CDL holders. Well, no, they want new CDL holders to lease trucks. Because think about it, if you're a fleet owner and you own 10 trucks, hey, what better way to mitigate your risk than to make the drivers pay for the fuel and pay for the truck payment? I mean, come on.
But
You know,
Snorelord, it's stronger than that, bro. It's stronger than that. You know, honestly, I mean, you're right what you're saying. That's absolutely true. But I think, and this is just my opinion, I could be wrong. I think it's more to that. So how can a company, control you and not pay your bills? You get a brand new guy that don't know nothing, put him in a lease truck to pay the bills, and he don't know what he can and cannot control. He's never did it before, and now you control him like a company driver and not pay the bills. That's what it's about, I think.
Yeah.
Ooh, you guys. And some side hustles too in the business game, right? So check this out, right? So just say you're a fleet owner, all right, and you have just say 4 trucks, and within that year, maybe you bought new trucks, maybe you bought used trucks, but then you have drivers in them, and you're charging them. I'm talking about lease operators here. You're charging up the wazoo, right? And so you're paying down that truck. Guess what these fleet owners can do? These fleet owners at this point can actually go to the bank and get an appraisal on their company and say, how much is my company worth? How much are my trucks worth? And then to them, they'll average it and say, hey, you got 2,022 trucks. Each truck's worth 230K, what have you, 220K brand new. Well, you have these lease operators that you're charging $4,000 a month. You're getting that down.
Hang on,
each
brother.
truck,
Somebody's got some back feed, and I don't know if they're going to be able to hear him speak. Someone's back feeding a little bit here and there.
Oh,
bro,
can you guys hear
I
me?
don't hear anything.
Yeah,
No,
we hear you, bro. Just
everything's
okay.
fine.
So just say you'll at first you owe 220 on the truck, or 200 on the truck, and then you pay it down 50 G's. Now you only owe 150 on the truck. Just say you have 4 of those trucks right there. You already have about 200K in equity. You could borrow against yourself to the bank and grab out more money and take another loan out to buy more trucks or to do whatever. And so there's a lot of businesses out there that they don't know. You can actually group together 15 lease operators and then sell the note to the bank, right? So there's a lot of hustles that that companies do that you don't even know why they're doing it. You know what I mean? Because we could actually go and do that right now. We could go out and get 30 trailers, and then we could lease them out to drivers, and then put a number per month of what we're getting in at a 5 to 10% cap rate, and then go to the bank and say, hey, I want to sell you this group package of leased notes that I have that people are renting trailers. And that's what they do. They do that all the time, guys. You know what I mean?
The mortgage industry is big for that, isn't it?
What was that?
The mortgage industry is big for that.
Very big, and I'll tell you why. Because I own a finance company. I could tell you exactly how this type of stuff works.
Something else that they can do is if you're a owner operator, lease operator, and you're generating $20,000 a month in revenue for them, they can make the case that you're a valuable part of their company. So they can go buy what's called key man insurance on you, so that if you quit, they get paid, because by quitting it costs them $20,000 a month, so they can collect on an insurance policy if you quit.
Oh,
Yep.
There is so many ways to do a lot of things. It's just like you hear the saying, I don't want a cash truck because I need the write-off. I'm like, first of all, you must be ignorant in business, because you can personally go buy that cash truck and you can lease it to your own company and make a payment every month. The company gets the write-off and you get to make a profit on it if that's what you want to do, or you can do it with 2 corps. There's always a write-off there if you know how to structure your business. But that's the always saying you always hear, I don't get a cash truck because I need the write-off. You can still write it off forever.
Well, if you need a write-off, send me a check for $50,000. I'll give you a receipt for consulting. You can write that
There
off
you
the
go.
same as you can your truck.
Nice.
The people that's crying they need write-offs is just bad for people that can't do math.
I
Don't
don't need-
understand the tax.
I want to give a shout out to my fellow metal brother, Bearded. What's up, Wheel Burner?
How we doing there, brother? Hey guys.
Oh
What's
shit!
going
What's
on,
up, Will
Will
Burner?
No, not
My
too
screen's so small, I don't see nobody. I just recognize Stuart's voice too. What up, Stuart? Who else do we have in
bad,
here?
man. This is really good, and there's something that Alex just said, and I just wanted to. I'm just going to pop in real quick. And it had to do with the business, and you were talking about how they just want, they hire on all these drivers, and within a couple of months they're quickly trying to get them into lease deals. Now that's a shame. And all I can say is shame on the carriers for doing that, because if you look at the success rate for that kind of thing, it's not as high as the failure rate. The failure rate for the lease op or even the owner operator these days, the failure rate is actually higher than the success rate. Now, I don't know the exact numbers, but I do know that is the case. And the shame is that there's not a company, or there's not more guys out there that are willing to take these new owner operators and at least give them a fighting chance. Work with them, help them. And I don't mean, you set up a business and you run them through some kind of school or something, but I honestly think the larger carriers, and there's one up here in Canada that's going to experiment with it, that when you go to them and say, okay, I want to become a lease op, or I'm a company driver and I want to make that jump to owner operator, I'm ready to go. And they're going to say, well, that's really good, but we want you to take this either 3-day course, or we want you to talk to these people here and sort of get an introduction into some of the business. Because just sitting here listening here tonight, I've heard some really good information from SoCal that you're not going to get, just walking down the street. It's not, and it's a shame, because it's a earn as you learn business right now. And that sucks balls. That really sucks at the end of the day. But if you can take like a group of guys, or you can take a format of information, put it into a format size place, and give people access to it. Present it to the mega carriers. Let them say, you know what, we've got a group of guys, or we've got a platform here that is willing to work with the new guys. So before you take them, before you just stick them in that truck, fill their truck with diesel and let them turn a key, because you're setting them up to fail. Why don't you maybe take them and say, hey, why don't you go talk to whatever, let's say SoCal Trucking Guidance School, whatever you want to call it, right? There should be something out there like that. And like I said, we've got one carrier up here that is going to experiment with that. And I'm very curious. I'm going to be following it. It'll probably be on my channel, but it's a shame we don't have that. And I say shame on the mega carriers, because they're just turn and burn, meat and seat deals these days. Can
I'll tell you what's crazy.
Real quick? Can I just say real quick? If they did that, there would be a lot of guys that wouldn't even be in the truck, because let's be real, if you're going to go into business, I mean, it would be wise to have some money in your bank account, and be responsible, right?
Here's the crazy thing, and then I gotta get off, gentlemen. I appreciate the hospitality, everybody, and shout out to everybody on the panel. It's a great positive live stream. I'm glad you mentioned that up, Will Burner. If you guys ever remember Travel Local, right? So Eric at Travel Local, he was acting like as a vice president, and that's what I offered Travel Local with no cost. They were turning lease drivers over, and I said, look, how about this? If they want to lease a truck from you, I said, I'll pre-record some business classes and stuff like that for free, or I'll go live with them, or I'll fly over there and talk to them. And I said, let's do a business class with them, so they're knowledgeable and they know what they're getting into. And then that when they move forward, your success rate will be way higher than if they don't know what's going on and they're blinded. And so they all thought it was a great idea until it wasn't. We never pursued that. But I just want to say thank you, everybody, man. And there's still money in trucking. And just, try to follow the positive vibe, not the negative vibes. Negative's not getting you nowhere. Positive will get you everywhere. And I appreciate you guys.
All right. Thank you, SoCal. I'm going to go off of SoCal's comment here, because here's the problem that I run into. There are people that don't want to listen. They don't want your advice. They don't want to hear the truth. You know, there are times when I've talked to drivers, hey, Steve, I've been watching you for years. You know, you and Jeffrey, you guys inspire me, man. I listen to everything that you say, and oh man, you guys are awesome. So I'm wondering, should I buy this or this? I'm like, well, what's your cost? I don't know. Do you know your numbers? No. And it's like, okay, but you're watching, but you're not listening. And sometimes I call the driver, because what we offer here at Like Trucking is we try to do consultations. If an owner operator is struggling, we want them to call us, and we'll call them and we'll say, hey man, is there anything I can help you with? You know, I had one of our contractors call me Wednesday night right before Thanksgiving, and he was struggling a little bit. And I said, well, here's what I've been doing. Here's what's been working for me. Here's what's working for so-and-so. And we put that out there. But then there's other drivers that I've called that were like, I don't do that. I don't do this. I don't do that. And it's like, some people just can't be helped because of their attitude, you know?
I agree to that. I mean, I don't know what the statistics is, but let's be honest. People that are making money in trucking don't even watch YouTube.
Oh man.
Oh, you're telling us. Thanks, Alex. I'm out.
Well, I'm out. Later, Alex.
But Alex is right in a lot of in what he says. In a lot of everyone's right. I mean, because I used to do air conditioning. I've done that, and they have school. You call them schools, but where these owners of HVAC companies go to get better. You know, to run it more efficiently, how to generate more sales, how to offer financing to a customer. If we even considered doing that in this industry, you would be absolutely crucified, because the trucker's ego gets in the way, right? You know, you've had it on this platform. People have tried, doing some sort of classes, and they've been absolutely crucified for it, and why is that? And I think DIY said it yesterday in one of his lives. We've all got to put the ego aside and know what we don't know. We're not perfect. We don't know everything, and we've all got strong suits. And sometimes you have to go back to the drawing board and learn if it's how to negotiate, how to read a contract, how to, control your finances better. And the reality is trucking, there's so many different ways to do it, and it's going to be different for everyone. So you have, we can only do it with a broad brush, right? Stroke with a broad brush, and, it's sort of have that 30,000 foot view and try and cover in a general sense. And trying to teach that is, I think, is difficult, and I think stuff, lines of communication get crossed in that information transfer, and then that's where I think a lot of these issues start to evolve.
Well, to Alex's point, you don't see the CEO of Schneider going, these dang brokers, I hate this fuel is, no, they've already figured this stuff out, right? And I think that's that point Alex was making is just like the best loads aren't on the load board, the most successful people, there are some that are trying to help. There are some that are trying to sell courses, right, and that's their only motivation. And then there are some that are, truly are just venting. They're just, they look at this as therapy.
No, I agree with that. I mean,
hold on. Gary.
Gary, you got a back feed.
Gary, Gary.
For anyone that's
hold on, Alex, hold on, Gary. Anybody else wants to come in? What you do is before you click on the StreamYard link, pause the video. That way, there's no double feed. So go out, pause your YouTube video, and then come back in. Can you hear me, Gary?
He said, yeah.
I don't know.
No, the only thing that I think is like naturally simple that why trucking is so beneficial to a lot of people. And I mean, I'm talking about the people that are really struggling here. I'm talking about people that are working, making 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, even $17 an hour, right? That's not even considered good money anymore, And, certain expenses you can't get away from. Your mortgage or your rental, you can't get away from that. Most people can't get away from needing a car. Your where you rent and your car alone is almost like 40 to 50% of what people make in America a month, So how the hell are you going? We're not talking about eating food or anything anymore. We're just talking about just living. You need somewhere to live, and there's a great chance you might need a vehicle to get you to work or what have you, right? And so if you're a company driver, and if it's possible, I know some people might have kids and you have to stay home, but just say it is possible. You don't have to pay for a rent or mortgage, and you don't have to pay for a car. Do that for 2 years. And guess what? I always prompt this in America, at least. Look, if either you're a veteran, if you're a veteran, man, use that bill. Why? Because you could get that. You could get that that veteran loan, and you don't have to. You've earned to put down 0 down, and then you could buy up to a 4-plex. What do? You put down 10%, and from that, for a lot of people, you can rent out 3 and live in 1 and not have to pay a mortgage. I did that, right? And so for normal people, they could get an FHA loan. They could put down 3.5% and do the same thing. So it's like, that's a perfect world, but there's not that many jobs. Maybe you guys can debate this. How many jobs do you know out there where you can actually not have to rent a home or have a mortgage and not have to have a car?
Well, if I wanted to live in a truck, I'd be good.
That's what I mean. Besides trucking, is there any other occupation that you could think of
Military.
that you don't need a car or a home?
Free hots on the cot with the military.
Yeah, see, pretty much military probably might be the only one, right?
Yeah,
that's an exception, Stuart.
Right. But so I think, hey, the truth that people don't want to hear is, hey, my trucking career wasn't that long. I trucked for 10 years. I did 6 to 8 months straight, and I took 4 to 6 months off. I did that for 10 years straight. I never bought anything. I just saved everything. And, the YouTube things start working out. I started going in a direction that I thought people wanted. But besides that, I'll tell you right now, I'm going to have my buddy that's a mover on possibly the next day. He grossed $550,000 and put in his pocket $220,000 in this bad market. But what do you have to do? You have to move furniture. You got to back up and shuttle. We could talk about this all day, but people just don't want to do it. It's that simple. I mean,
it's easier to bitch about something. It's easier to bitch about something, complain about something, or blame somebody or something else. It's easier to do all of that than it is to actually go out and do the job.
Well, the other element is you got YouTubers that want to call out other YouTubers.
Time. You should know that by now.
Yeah. I'm sorry, Wilburn. You were breaking up.
Oh, am I? Sorry.
Yeah, you're fine now. You have YouTubers that want to call out other YouTubers, and where does that end? Maybe they need to call themselves out, because a lot of people that are out there screaming the loudest, are not doing very well, in my opinion. I mean, in my observations.
Hey, we all gotta figure a way how to get away from the people that always just say I can't catch a break type of people. It's just what it is. People ask me all the time, Alex, don't think I'm stupid. All you do is you let people email you and they give you content, and you just look up Google News, and that's how you get your trucker news. 1000% correct. That's what I do. So just spend 100 hours a week and do that. If that's how you want your life to be, I encourage everybody to do it. But I ain't gonna ever lie. I am a YouTuber, and this is how I make a living. Hopefully I've never lied about that. If anyone ever thought that I was scamming in any other way, no, I make a living. When you click the video and it has ads, those little pennies, that's how I provide for my whole entire family. So it is what it is, right? So.
And I've known Alex for quite a while. I've met him at multiple truck shows, and he's literally what you see. I mean, there's no personality behind the camera. I mean, this is him. I mean, that's what I try to do. I mean, anybody who's talked to me privately, I curse a little bit more, and I might be a little bit more angrier in person, but I generally try to be the same person. And Alex is definitely one of those people.
I appreciate that. But hey, I tell people all the time, you know what I get a kick out of? Thank you, Will Burn. Like the other day, you didn't have to say that. You said I helped jumpstart your channel, including with Nevada Trails.
Yeah.
We helped you with that. That's what you're supposed to do. we should help each other grow as much as we can, you know. And here's the trick: if anyone wants to be a trucker or YouTuber, when you get more followers, it doesn't get easier. You have to create content. For me to make a living, I have to make a mini viral video twice a day, just to make a living. It's not everybody's cup of tea.
I was actually going to ask the question: what's harder, being a trucker or being a YouTuber? And I'm thinking it's probably a YouTuber. There's a lot more work that goes into it.
I would, you know, honestly, I mean, if we're just being 1,000% honest, I was happier when I was just a damn mover, bitching about customers not giving me water while I'm lumping their furniture up the stairs. That, you know, now it's, you know, you put out a video and 5,000 people tell you jump off a bridge. The other 5,000 say, nah, we love this guy. So it's just one of those things where it becomes this emotional battle, right? So people think they see all the nice stuff, but I get probably at least 5,000 comments a day that says, Alex, can you just jump off a bridge? And I have to be like, they don't really mean it.
You don't at this point, Alex. You don't take that too seriously, eh? Like it's gotta run off you by now.
I'll tell you one thing. I don't, and as long as you're real to yourself, like I've had these I've had self-driving companies say, Alex, be our poster boy. All of these self-driving companies are out of China anyways, right? Like all of them. And look, we'll give you $5 million. And you're gonna, and I think about that and go, do I want to be the most hated person in the trucking industry within a couple hours? You know, so that's the truth. Is people don't really realize that. Not that I given up on. Let's have an honest conversation. How many people would say no to a couple $1 million? I
was going to say you're crazy for turning it down, man.
Alex,
you're in
ahead, sorry.
Reason, right?
Alex, I got a video idea for you. Ready?
Let's do it.
Create some content. Okay. So what you need to do is you need to go on your video and go, man, I'm really sad. Well, I got a lot of negative comments, and you grab a group of $100 bills, and you're like, I don't know what I'm gonna do. I don't, man. I'm really stressed out. You know, you ought to do that. I think that'd be hilarious.
Oh man. Hey, I'm sure people honestly probably think I make money off of YouTube. You could go on Social Blade and you could probably be like, he's probably making money off of YouTube. And the truth is, yeah, it's changed my life. Like there's no doubt about that. But in return, I just try to keep it trucking and just keep it as honest as I can and help as many people. You know, believe me, a lot of the subscribers, they're not on my side. When I put out information that's not correct, I get enough emails where I need to make another video say, hey guys, I'm a dumbass. I was incorrect. You know what I mean?
Well, being the salt in the wound, you know, it's relative, you know, that could be a good thing, you know? And I wanted to come on here though and say, first off, I said in the comments, congratulations on your engagement.
Oh, thank you. Appreciate
it. You helping people and like coming in here tonight, even at your level and the size of your channel, that's something I've always respected and admired about you, and I always will. So keep doing that, dude. Because it's good to see you come in here.
Nah, hey,
just hang out and jump on panels and kind of say what's up to people. I keep seeing your merch and truck stops, by the way, too.
Oh, hey, I appreciate that. That's crazy. No, I mean, hey, honestly, what I'm doing now, and this is not an exposed Snorelord, but I probably for the last 20 minutes, I've been screen recording our conversation. Oh, and the reason why I did that is because everybody that's jumping on now, I can do a video maybe tomorrow or the next day and put all your guys' links down below. You know what I mean? And I'm awesome. Telling you guys, please, man, anytime you guys have something that's going to really help the trucking industry, or even if it's some weird type of drama type of thing that you want to get off your chest, whatever it is, and you go, hey, Alex, I'm trying to get some subscribers. Jump on my show. All I'm asking is we have a topic to talk about. And you know what I mean? And that's it. That's all I'm asking. But hey, I want to see everybody grow. So I'm just letting you know, Snorelord, I have been screen recording just for the reason of I can actually put everyone's links down and be like, hey, go follow those people, because I don't know what's you guys told me about the subscriber game. It's crazy. I had a guy the other day message me and said, hey, Alex, after watching 2,200 of your videos, I finally subscribed. And I was like, thanks, brother. Like I almost quit.
That's funny.
You know?
That's it, man.
Related question, Alex.
Yeah.
Subscribers versus views. Would you rather have a video that hits once a week and gets, I don't know, 300,000 views, and you have 1,000 subscribers, or would you rather have 300,000 subscribers and the videos are only putting, say, I don't know, 2,000 or 3,000 views a week? What's better, the quality or the subscriber base?
That's a good question.
1,000% the quality. What people have wrong with YouTube is people are they're trying to find a video that they could click people to potentially get views, and what they really should just be doing is just trying to put the best content out there. Like okay, let's have an honest conversation here. In America, there's only 3.3 people that have a CDL, which means that there's probably only like 1 million drivers really driving in America. So if you get a video that gets, 100,000 views, I mean, you literally almost got the whole market of everybody that could potentially consume that type of content. We're not like Mr. Beast, or where we're talking about food and stuff where it's like 2 billion people are watching about food, right? We even eat food. But when we talk about trucking, I mean, for the most part, the most you're going to have is possibly a couple 100,000, 300,000-400,000 people watching it per video. So working on your quality is better, because I'll tell you what, Stuart, how many people are following you now?
Maybe not 400, something like that.
So I mean, let's really think about that. 400. A damn hotel only has 200 rooms, so that's 2 hotels that are worth $30 million each. That's $60 million worth of real estate that are tuning in to watch you. I mean, those people that are watching you care about you more than they care about me. Once you become bigger, people are just waiting for you to F up so that they could just drown you. Yeah. That's really the truth. Snorelord, hey, everyone that goes in your comments, they love you. They love you, Nevada, all you guys, right? Will Burner. I mean, I've seen all you guys' videos. They love you. I do a live. What's wrong with the industry? Or, what is it now? Or, you know what I mean? Like, they're not there for me. They just think I have some type of hot, news that's about to come out. But they're not there for me. If I do a video and say, hey guys, I'm here drinking some orange juice, one person would jump on. So I don't really have a loyal crowd like you guys have, which I think that's great, because you'll start hating YouTube if you don't have thick enough skin.
You definitely.
As you get bigger.
I used to scream in a decimal band in front of a lot of people, so I mean, you can throw anything at me. What's up, Gary? You have something you want to say? What's up?
Oh, I'm just jumping in, trying to participate. I'm this isolated dude that nobody knows yet, and got all these weird little quirks and all this stuff. So, just really just hanging out. I'm going to Idaho for the first time, and in taking the truck and everything out this far, so it's kind of an adventure for me.
Be careful, big storms going up there, buddy. So drive safe. And I'm from the West Coast, and I'm running down south around it. So be careful up north. It's gonna be bad. This week's gonna be bad for weather.
Agreed.
Yeah, that's what I've been watching. Just been watching all that snow and weather that might be coming in.
That's awesome, man.
Appreciate that.
Hey, T-Bone wants to know if you want in on our little drum off that T-Bone and I are going to have. Do you play drums?
Not good enough.
Oh, come on. Neither do I, but, look, T-Bone's going to whip all our butts, but, the more the merrier.
I'm going to jump off here, Snorelord. Thanks for having me on. I appreciate
Nevada,
it. Stuart,
coming
Gary, Will Burner, and, of course, Alex.
Yeah,
like I said, man, nothing but respect, dude. Keep doing your thing.
All right, brother. Peace.
If you want to
thank
have
you,
air drum
sure.
off, I'm an awesome air drummer. I'll blow you all away. Right? I will sit there and you can play every Zeppelin album from beginning to end, and I will smoke you all. you put a real drumstick in my hand. Oh my God, you kidding? I couldn't keep a beat to save my life.
We got another Brit in here. Oh boy.
Yeah, they're sneaky, eh?
Sorry, Americans. I'm here for Stuart.
Yes, I need your support, Mark.
Yeah, Canadians.
I had to move to the laundry room.
Anyone else?
The house I'm allowed to vape in.
How's everybody doing tonight, anyway?
Anyone else experiencing some bandwidth issues with so many people?
Not on my end.
No, hear you fine.
Might be where you're at, Gary. Where are you at now?
Oh, I'm still doing the Little America in Wyoming, so that's possible.
Yeah, I've been out there a few times. Yeah, that could be the issue. The more people that get in here, it kind of your phone will get hot, and it's a whole thing. So, but how long you been driving, Gary?
Well, Class A, probably over 3 years. But I did a cement mixer and dump trucks in the past, so I don't know. People don't consider it driving, and unless everybody asks Class A. So 3 years, if that's the way.
Hey, you're one of us, Gary. You just out here trying to make some money, man. That's what we're trying to do.
Yeah. I drove a school bus for 2 years before I became a truck driver. I throw that in there every now and then.
Oh, you were probably like an awesome school bus driver.
I was, Alex. I was.
He's that guy off The Simpsons, right?
All right, so
Automan.
no. I get that. You know how many times I've heard the auto stuff, right? But here's the thing, Alex. Here's what I would do. So every route, you had your primary route, which was normal kids. Then you had your secondary route, which is usually handicap, special needs, a unique scenario. And they gave me the bad kids, the middle school kids that were kicked out of all the others were centralized in one school, and they gave them to me. And this is what I did. This is so you got the shortwave radios, CB radios, and every day, bus so and so to base. I have to call security. I have to call the cops because they would have a hard time with these kids, and so they decided, let's see what Steve can do, right? So they give them to me, and so the first day that I have them, I pulled them aside, right before we got to school. I pulled over, put the lights on. I'm like, all right. And there would be a list of 10 rules, that the school system would put on the front of the bus. And I would say, okay, I've only got 3 rules. And they're like, oh, really? Yeah. Okay. I'm like, all right. Rule number 1 is you respect me, and I will respect you back. Rule number 2, you respect the equipment. I don't want you guys trashing the equipment. Rule number 3, respect each other. I don't want any fights on here or anything like that. And if we can't follow those rules, I'm a singer for a death metal band. I'm always looking for the next sacrifice. And those kids would be like, okay. and what's funny is you have to use psychology. And this is what you kind of have to do with drivers too, is these bus drivers would try really hard to assign seating, and kids despise assigned seating. But they are creatures of habit. So what I did was I go, hey, you guys, I won't assign seats. Oh, wow, awesome, Steve, you're cool. But you got to sit in these 6 rows. but you can sit wherever you want in those 6 rows. They're like, okay, and they would sit in the same place every single day. And if they were up to something, then they would sit in a different spot. Now they got my attention. They wouldn't even know it. Meanwhile, the other buses are like, security, we need security, and like they tried the heavy-handed approach, and I didn't do that. But yeah, the death metal thing really got them. Oh, okay. So.
Oh, that's awesome. Nah, patience, right? So is that what it takes if you want to be a good like fleet owner? You just have to like be willing to actually sacrifice them.
Yeah.
Damn right. I sacrifice everybody on the panel right now for a good week next week. So I don't know what you're talking about for kids, man. Forget it.
Oh man.
Because obviously young Alex is in the chat as well tonight. Now, I'm like Steve knows that I'm obviously a foreigner that came to this country.
We could barely hear you, Britt. Is your microphone boom down?
I'm in bed. I'm not going to be on bloody film when I'm in bed. But
I'm listening.
Hold up. Now, what? Can you hear me now?
Yeah, barely. You're not loud at all.
Oh, yeah. Let me get my headphones on. Hold up.
Okay.
Letting the team down. Letting the team down.
No.
Why would you say that? Yeah, anyway, can
there
everybody hear me now?
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, anyway, what I was trying to say is, now as a foreigner like Stuart, and we came to this country and started our stuff. Now I went through this lease purchase program. Now Steve knows I work for Schneider Bulk on their contract side. Now Alex is watching, and I know on different things that I see that, oh God, these crazy sods that come in and they sign up for lease purchases. I've done really well with Schneider. Now I've worked for them for like 7 years now, and I do very well, and I've been through that whole system, and I made a success of it, and now unfortunately I have to help God, an awful lot of contractors coming on board now, because we are in some crazy times now with rates, fuel prices, and unfortunately the economy is going in the wrong direction. Alex, what's your take on people like that come to do lease purchase today compared to say 3 years ago? Just top of your head, what's your perception on that now?
Honestly, I mean, before we even get to that, I would like to tell you that your personality and who you are as a person, just with the few conversations we had already, you would be successful at any part of anything you did. If you owned a truck, you'd be successful. If you were a company driver, you'd be successful. If you're a lease operator, you'd be successful. You know what I mean? It's because you have a business aspect to you, right? And so that I just want to say that first is
I appreciate you, young sir. So
I try to tell people, and I don't even try to coach people on anything, but I always try to tell people that sometimes certain things are just right for you. For example, everybody could say Western Express is the worst company in the world, but if Western Express is the only company, regardless of what your situation was, is the only one that gave you a chance, they kind of became your best option, right? And so right now, I honestly, I would just, when it comes to owning a truck, buying a truck, leasing a truck, right now it's just very difficult for everyone, just because the rates as a whole are just down. That's just where we are in the market right now. I wouldn't recommend anyone that didn't have a lane or didn't have a friend or didn't have a place to put their truck to actually make some money do any of those. The safest bet that anyone has right now is probably, if you're getting in trucking, 1000% company driver. I mean, that's your best bet, right?
That's what I tell, and that's what people ask me. They always say to me, "Oh, obviously on Schneider Bulk, you can earn this, that, and everything else." Now, I don't do referrals. I don't do nothing. I tell people the way it is. I don't tell them based on the dollar sign, because I don't do that stuff. And a lot of people come on board now. And recently, I've just said to them, "Do not do it. Just stay. If you're in a company, if you're comfortable in a company driver, stay it. don't come into this, because you've got 3 people in this chat now: Steve, young Snorelord, and Stuart, and Brian, young Wilberta. Now these are the 3 people that I follow. I don't follow anybody else. Sorry, anybody else, because I'm not interested in that. But these 3 people have got a big impact. Now, as long as you follow these 3 people, they will bring you that dynamic on everything. And like I say, and I follow these guys, and it's worked for me. And I keep I do, I keep the overhead down, I keep everything else down, and I look after my truck. I don't want another truck. Even though Schneider keeps saying to me, "Can we give you another truck?" No, I don't want another truck because we're in horrible times, and it's all about, and like I say, people watching these people in this channel now, that will help you go forward in this hard times, including yourself, Alex. And with Alex, and I will say to you, young Alex, I don't subscribe to you purely because I get bombarded with your things, but I know where to find you.
I recommend you follow.
No, but I know where to find you. But but I can go onto YouTube. I know. Hold on a minute. And I can find you straight away. I don't need to have you come after me. I can follow you straight away. But let's just look after each other. Let's just be honest on YouTube. If you're going to put out something out there, anybody on this channel, put the truth out there. Don't put what you think people want to hear. Just for goodness sake, tell them the truth, because they're going to do stuff based on what you say. And that's all I say to people, So,
well, a perfect example of that, Britt, is I talked to a driver the other day who wants to come over to Like Trucking. Now, it's Like Trucking's best interest, in a way,
right?
That, we get more contractors. It's in my best interest because, in the safety, I get paid for each driver. Now,
right.
So after he told me his situation, he told me his finances. We crunched some numbers. And he told me he was behind on this and behind on this, and he was struggling with this and struggling with this. I'm like, I told him, I said, coming out to the spot market's probably not going to be a good idea for you now. That's the kind of honesty that we put out there for, and because, I did it for the honesty to help this person out, but in the long run, it wouldn't help Like Trucking out either. So that's how I looked at that. And so a lot of these any meat in the seat carriers, it's tough to find the carriers that aren't doing that, and that's how we stand above the rest.
Right, and I had Schneider put me this driver onto me, and I always tell Schneider, if you're going to put a driver onto me, give me their contact number first of all, because if I don't know your number, I don't answer my phone. And they put this driver onto me, and we went through different scenarios because he was messing up on different things and stuff like that. We went through everything, and then this contractor told me he's been a contractor for 3 years. And I thought, oh my God, I'm trying to save you after 3. If you can't work it out after 3 years, I don't know why we're having this conversation. It was just ludicrous because people are getting scared. And I've got, I think in the last 2 weeks, Schneider's put about 6 or 7 drivers onto me. Now, Steve and Stuart and Brian, the situation that's going on in my life at the moment, and yet I've got 3 or 4 drivers, 5 drivers that I'm trying to help on top of what I'm trying to help with myself.
Wow.
The world is crazy at the moment, and I'm trying to. And that's why I put out tonight. Sorry, YouTube. I'm staying out YouTube till next year because it's hard. It's absolutely hard because those poor buggers that are trying to get on, that are getting buried and getting crucified, they passed it on to me, and it's crazy,
But Mark, the bit you're missing, right, is it's you, right? There's an element to this where you don't give yourself enough credit, and Alex sort of said it. What you've achieved in the last couple of months blows me away. I mean, it blows me away. I mean, it's this, if you want to call it personal responsibility, and just sometimes you just have to grab the bull by the horns and control your own destiny. If that means you have to get up at 2 o'clock in the morning and run to make something happen, that's what you got to do.
I know, but like Stuart, like I've told you, mate, my mum brought me up to be like everybody else comes first, I come second, and right. that's been my problem, is that I'm trying to help people, and people getting desperate at the moment because the transport industry is getting desperate.
Let me change the perspective for you, Britt. Maybe let me attempt here. By taking care of yourself first enables you to help other people, so that should be your first priority. So
No,
you can't,
I don't know.
you know, so like you kind of have to look at it like, okay, if I can let my leg mend, my leg's broken, if I can let it mend by serving myself that way, and then I can get up and help others after that. That's kind of how you have to look at it. By you helping yourself, you're helping others. Does that make sense?
It does, but it's just it's complicated at the moment because, like I said, I'm getting buried with contractors, like 3 to 6 months contractors that are getting scared that they're getting behind on truck payments and stuff like that, and I'm trying to give them a path, a path forward. Half of them don't take it on board because I'm a workaholic, and I understand the concept. And Steve, and I blame you, Steve. It's about mindset. No, so it is because I tell you what, my idea of a bad day is like somebody else's day of an earthquake. We are worlds apart. Things don't worry me. I just pick myself up, dust myself off, and go forward. Well, and I was just trying to educate people. Now, I do have one guy that has followed everything I say, and he's like the number 2. He's like number 2 on Schneider now, and he's only been there for 7 or 8 months because he's listened to everything I've told him and how we do it and stuff like that, and he earns crazy money like I do, but I don't have a truck payment and stuff like that. But I'm just saying this is different times, even from a tanker driver's point of view. Now, we are chemical. Now, on chemical, we are necessities. The stuff that we haul is essential product. Now, unfortunately, van drivers, and I'm not being disrespectful for van drivers, you don't haul a lot of essential product. Some of that stuff, I could put that TV off till next year, whatever. Chemical, now we produce stuff that is, whether it be water treatment plants, stuff that produces, I don't know, bloody toilet paper and nappies. We are essential product, so it's nothing has ever affected us. We always are always busy. But I still watch you, Steve, because I want to know what's going on in the industry. It's not just from a tanker's point of view. I want to know what's going on in this country. Now, my gut tells me one thing about this country, that we are slowing down, but I watch you in the morning and I can see that we are slowing down.
Yeah.
And that's what it's all about. You can put on the TV that the world's a great place. No, it's not. We are not in a good place. So that's my doom and gloom on America. So screw it.
Damn British.
Still the best country in the world, man. There's still people who would give their left arm to be here, and I don't think we should forget that, right? Sometimes when you have it easy and the bar, we have such a high bar, standard, should I say? That gets lost. I mean, look, we're still driving around in a car. We still have a choice of food. You can, and look, I remember talking to a Haitian lady one time. She turned around and said to me, she said, the best gift I ever gave my kid was the fact that he was born in America.
All right, but Stuart, mate, you like me, we were born in England. Now, we came to this country, and we found that America is way, way different than what we were used to in England.
Yeah, but there's more opportunity here, right?
Right. They drive on the wrong side of the road. Opportunity, yeah. And they sit on the wrong side of the vehicle. Opportunity, right? Yeah, I get that one. But I'm just saying. But even from England, now we were brought up differently. From the point that we have to get out there and do it. It is different coming to this country. Granted. So that's all I'm saying.
I wouldn't put it down to a country thing. I think there's just some people that are willing to get it done, and there's some people that aren't willing to get it done.
Okay, but you and me, we're willing to get it done. Now, by all accounts, there's 1 million of us in this country. I've only ever come across you, and I've come across one person 2 years ago in Texas. Yeah. I don't know where the other nearly million, the other million people are, but we're here.
You said it though, right? You said there was a guy that was referred to you by Schneider, and now he's number two, you know, in the company. Well, he listened and he put it into action. My advice you would be use that guy as a referral. You know, when he's
No, I don't like referrals.
No, you're taking referral. I'm not on about money referral. I'm on about use that guy as an asset because he's turned it around. He knows what needs to be done. He's done the work.
Right, but I do. All I say.
Someone else.
What I say.
Someone else.
No, but like
saying what you've told him, you've made it work for someone else. Now he goes and says it to the same person that you said it to. You get this daisy chain effect, and before you know it, people actually start listening because 2 people can't be wrong, or now 3 people can't be wrong, and before you know it, you have 20, 30 people all on the same plan to greatness, and that's how you can only change one person at a time, man.
Right, but that's what I use with Taylor. And when I said to Taylor, if I'm going to educate you the way that I do it and how I make money, all I ask for you is you help me going forward. And that's what he does. Because like my idea is that if you just pay forward, you pay forward good information and whatever, because we're all out here to make money. We're all out here to protect our families and do whatever. We're not here to sit with our thumbs up our asses and stuff like that. And that's what Taylor does. Now, and I say to Taylor, I ring him up, I say, look, I've got this guy, I've rung him up. Can you just back me up on this one? Just tell him with your situation with the new type truck and blah, blah, blah. And that's what he does, because that's all I ask from anybody. I don't ask for references. I don't ask for money. I just say, if I help you, can you help somebody else? Because there is millions of drivers out here that they're scared. They're scared and they're doing stupid stuff to protect themselves. They're not doing the right direction. Like somebody in our recent community is doing some silly stuff just to protect his family, and it's ludicrous. I'm not going to give out that, but I'm just saying. But people make silly decisions based on crazy times.
But Britt, do you ever think that? Do you ever think of this as a? I guess you'd be considered a senior driver because you are old. And
fucker.
But,
the oldest guy in the chat. Yeah, whatever.
I'm gonna get with Mark any chance I can, right?
Yeah.
But as a senior driver, and myself is one, and Stuart's been around, and maybe one of the greatest gifts we can tell these guys when they tell us, okay, I'm gonna be an owner operator, or I'm already an owner op or a lease op, and I'm not doing well. Maybe the nicest thing or the most the biggest gift you could really give them is tell them, go back to being a company driver. This isn't for you. The honesty, be 100% honest.
I've done that.
And I've done this like four times, or we've done this like 4 times in the last couple of weeks with guys that come to us for help. And it's like, you know what? Maybe this isn't your niche. You're a great company driver, when your truck breaks, the check engine lights, you pick up the phone, you call 1-800, come fix my shit, and it's somebody else's problem.
I'm not familiar with that number.
I know, that's a new one.
I'm gonna dial that right now.
Yeah.
Thing?
Bloody is.
You can go to sleep and have a good night's sleep, and you can't handle the stress that the owner operators have to deal with and live with on a daily basis. It's not for everybody. And maybe the best thing you could tell these guys is, you know what, go jump back into your company ride and run this out. Maybe wait till the market levels out or whatever. But I look at it in a sense that, if there's a guy that's, I'm watching within 6 months, he's going to be losing his house. His wife is packing her bags. The dog never came home from the field. There's something wrong, and maybe this is not for him. That's the best thing you can say to them. He may turn around and tell you to go F off. You're wrong. You're an ass. Well, if I'm wrong, you prove me wrong. But don't ask me for my opinion. Don't ask me for my help.
Hey, Brian. But with regard to that, Brian, in the what I'm telling, I think I've told the last half a dozen drivers is, do not sign. I said, in my situation, I'm not seeing this, what's going on. Even though we're in a very niche market as tanker, I tell these guys, look, just give it till March. I said, March next year, just see what's going on with regard to between now and March. talk to other owner operators, watch your fuel prices and stuff like that. Then maybe look at it. I said, but if you're going to sign the dotted line now, you're an idiot.
Yeah.
And I know that. And Schneider, and the problem is Schneider put them on to me thinking that I'm going to endorse their situation, but I'm not going to endorse it. And I tell these guys, I know what Schneider want me to tell you to do is sign the dotted line. Do not do it. Because I've got a clear conscience and don't do it. I wouldn't do it, and I'm not telling you to do it. If you want to do it, fine. But I'm just telling you, based on my situation and what I've seen in the last 7 years, this is not the climate to sign this dotted line with this contract, because
I agree.
it just isn't. We need to get to about March, then take a look back. Let's see where the world's going to, and I think March is going to give you a pretty clear conscience of where we're going.
Yeah, I've got a guy. I got a guy that's just nipping at it, just nipping. I want to buy a truck. I want to buy a truck. And I'm telling him,
he's too late.
Don't even think about it till at least the end of February. Like, just hear me out. Look what's going on in the market. Look what's going on in the world. Right? Just wait until the new year. At least get halfway through the first quarter of next year, then make those decisions. Look around. Don't do it.
Brian, it's like when Stuart flogged his truck. He flogged his truck right at the peak of that moment.
Yeah.
Anything after that, you've screwed yourself. You have absolutely screwed yourself.
Well, I would say this though. I mean, there's two hands to this coin right here.
Okay.
The only time I would tell someone to buy a truck right now, because people ask me all the time, Alex, should I buy a truck? And I say, the market is in the shit right now, which means one thing. That means that the truck prices are going down. Are you a type of person that can literally buy a truck for 70 grand and hold it and not have to do shit with it and wait and be a company driver and wait for the market to come back? And I've literally had some guys go, yeah, Alex, I got 400,000 in the bank. I could do that. I go, then you need to gauge what you're doing and think about it, because a truck 7 months ago for 130,000 is right now selling for 70,000. So
right,
that could be. So it always, now for 99.9% of people, I'm just being devil's advocate here, but for 99.9% of people, do not buy a truck if you do not know what the hell you're doing and don't have a lane. You know what I mean? Because
the situation that you just described there, that guy there would probably be in the 1 percentile.
Exactly.
Able to do that,
I agree 1,000%. But I was just playing devil's advocate for fun,
It's CDN,
right?
Rob's just entered the room.
The key man.
Alex, us Americans, me, Gary, and Alex are it, man. The Canadians and the British have invaded. What the heck?
England!
Look like the World Cup.
2-0. Yeah, 2-0 to England. So.
What's up, CDN? What say you, my friend?
I was just coming in to kind of support what nomadic-brit was saying, basically, that the training is truly difficult in this industry. And I think whether you're new to this industry or you're in the industry, you've been doing one role for a long period and you're looking for a change, you need the diversity. That's all I can emphasize, because training is only as much as the person they're willing to accept. Some people like a lot of in-depthness. Some just want to get the least amount of information they need to get their job done without the depth. And the part that's really misunderstood and not an oversight in a lot of situations is the legal side of the business. When you're a broker, you really get exposed to that, because when shippers hold you accountable for damages that get done, and you coordinated the truck, but they hold you accountable because you booked the truck, and there's a lot that goes on, and you really, I could share numerous experiences recently. Like, I just moved a load of mainframe computers from Arizona to Vancouver that was worth $167,000 US or $199,000 Canadian. The carrier I used, they said, I asked them about it, said, should I get my own? I can, through my brokerage, offer additional insurance. And they said, if you declare the value on the insurance, you're fully covered, because we have $250,000. I declared it. They said, you're good. Another carrier had another load, high value load going from Winnipeg to Toronto, and it was high valued. Oh no, sorry, from Quebec to Ontario, and it was high valued. And this carrier says, if you declare the value on the bill of lading, we won't take your freight. So it all depends, because there's no cut clear answer, because every carrier has different situations where maybe they had a few bad claims, their insurance policies changed, and their procedures now change. So the point is that there's a lot that goes on. Nothing is a problem till it's a problem, but studying and understanding how, like, people think, oh, my loads are covered. You have $100,000 coverage. Well, guess what? It all varies, because if a load, let's say a driver is at fault, he rolls his truck, but the insurance company starts looking at the freight, and they say, well, those pallets were horribly packaged. They were not palletized to withstand the rigors of trucking. So the insurance company could say, we're not going to cover it. Yes, the driver was at fault for flipping it over, but the shipper didn't do their due diligence to properly package it, and they're going to fight that. So the point is, like, we have to educate people in so many aspects of this business that there's no clear, like, there's so many avenues, from everything that happens in the warehouse, everything. So the point is, I wanted to bring is that take a look at if you go to LinkedIn and you were to look up CEOs of trucking companies, look at the vice presidents of trucking companies, look at their histories. They will have, maybe they were a driver, they might have been a salesperson for a while, they might have done this, like they would have done multiple things to get to that level. So it doesn't happen overnight. So if you're young and getting into I always call the trucking logistics industry, get as much diverse experience as you can to figure out what you feel you like. Snorelord Steve has turned into a safety expert, right? So he's got really grown.
Why are you laughing, Brett?
I know, I'm just being facetious.
Yeah. So the point is that, but I'm saying that each of us have different strengths that we can play to, right? Like, obviously, nomadic-brit, you're a natural that if you were to get into the operation game, you could become a dispatcher for tankers easily, right? You could be the operations manager for a tanker company, a small tanker company, a big tanker company, without hesitation, because you have that insight and understanding of that aspect.
Right, because I understand the concept of from A to B on tanker.
And, Mother Trucker's got that experience with the whole moving industry and understanding, because like a lot of people think, oh, I got this load of stuff. Well, if it's used equipment, a lot of people don't realize that that's only covered at $1 a pound. Or if you're a regular carrier, like say like trucking, and their driver, someone says, I'm willing to pay you whatever, and you take their personal effects on your truck, 99% of commercial care, if you're a commercial carrier, 99% of commercial carriers' insurance policies does not cover personal effects. And a lot of people misunderstand that. So, like, say you have a regular customer and they say, well, I got this load here, I got these bags of my employee stuff to move from one camp to the next. And if it gets damaged and they put some computers on there because they're going to be working at some job site for a while, and they put a laptop and stuff, and it gets damaged in the process, it's not covered.
We actually had a broker try that with one of our drivers. They tried to have us move household gold.
Damn.
Yeah.
I know.
Yeah. It's like we were like, we told the broker, I said, you need to be calling United or somebody like that. You don't need to be on the DAP board trying to find, a
mover won't be there,
Yeah. And there was a case where Schneider, I think it was a couple of years ago, where they were getting sued because one of their trucks was pulling a $5 million computer and it got damaged, and now Schneider was on the hook for that. I don't know if anybody remembers that.
Steve, we do that every week.
How does that work? Because there's a lot of brokers now moving these 5-foot U-Haul boxes with pretty much all personal effects, but they're moving it with a common carrier.
But okay, so what may happen in those cases are each carrier has their own cargo contingent insurance policy. That's one layer. That's overall for the brokerage. But like for me, like our brokerage has a cargo contingent policy, but I also have where I can go and take and get a specific insurance policy for your freight. So they may have realized that was a glitch. So they may have gone out and said, okay, for this account, we're going to go ahead and get a separate insurance policy for this account, or they've instructed the customer to have their, like for example, I shipped several years ago. It was this, like, it was only literally a pallet, but it was worth $275,000. And it goes on top of it. It was going into somewhere in Eastern US or Eastern Canada, but it was like for a factory, the big stacks of smoke, like one of these environmental filters. And so I asked the customer if we need insurance. They said no, because we have our own cargo contingent insurance to cover it. Meanwhile, I picked up a load of copper wire from Virginia years ago, and it was coming into Canada, and it was worth $1.2 million. And it took us 4 insurance companies to cover it. Like we had to use one, and then my insurance company had to broker to another, like the carrier we had to use 4. So the point is that there's every situation is complex, and like you can't blanket nothing, and there's so much to learn. So I just wanted to come on and say, like, yeah, this industry is so complex. Like moving dry vans is one thing, but it's so complex out here that if you don't be careful, you can get yourself burned real quick. Because especially if you go out and get your own MC authority and you think someone's offering you some business, always, like, if you need to, like, it's boring, dry stuff, but you really got to study your insurance policy for your carrier. And if you're a company driver and you want to become the next lease operator, the next owner operator, go get your own authority. Like I say on Steve's channel when we chat on his morning live, I always suggest if you're an owner operator driver and you don't have to pay for nothing, but you have to go fill up, take a piece of paper. Every time you fill up, write down how many gallons you filled, and then write down what was the price of fuel at that time. How much did you spend on fuel? You can do that. Okay, you called your maintenance, your team, and says, hey, I got a flat tire, I got a broken airline hose, I got this air leak, whatever it is, write it down. Just kind of get a sense. Hey, how much was it? This past year, I had my truck go in 20 times for repairs. How much do you think that did? It gives you an idea that you can start to build a bit of knowledge and how this whole works. Get yourself, if you can, try to get into the office and learn that dispatching operation into the world. If you don't understand all aspects and you just jump into one part, you have to round out your knowledge. That's the summary.
Yeah, here's my take on it, right? I think if I'm taking over the world, I think Steve's going to be my planner. Alex is going to be sales. CDN's going to be transport. Me and Stuart, we got that covered, and we'll get. Who can we get? We'll get Mr. Charles to be our transport guy. We can work this out together. So,
you need DIY in here, though.
We'll get DIY. Yeah, DIY can do my coffee and whatever. We got this sorted. We got this covered.
we needed people.
Stuff. Yeah.
But I would say that the biggest fault in success that most people have is, when you really think about it, right? Most people care about the title of having ownership and what it looks like to have wealth than actually trying to really obtain it, right? Like
that's a long-term plan, Alex, and that's what people don't understand.
But that's the thing. It's if you look at statistics,
mm-hmm.
more poor people buy Mercedes-Benz than people of wealth, right? And you look at that and you go, why would that be? It's because us poor people think that the wealthy drive Mercedes-Benz. And so we want to drive a Mercedes-Benz so people think that we're rich. But in reality, people that are rich don't drive anything. They just walk everywhere because they don't have anywhere to go. They own,
The only thing I will add to that, Alex, is when I came to this country in 2015. I had to sit through 6 months of sitting on my bum because going through the green card process, and I couldn't do nothing. I went to Schneider, did 6 months as a company driver, which was an absolute bitch to be told what to do because I would always work for myself. And they offered me this process called lease purchase program, which I'd never heard of in England because we don't have that in England. And it put me in a trap because you got to remember, I'm a foreigner. Now I came to this country with 0 credit rating because I'm Mr. Nobody. So I had to start from the bottom. And as a 50-odd-year-old guy, starting from the bottom, that was really weird. That's why I went to the lease purchase program. Now, I am always led to believe that the lease purchase program is because you've got a bad credit rating and stuff like that. No, it's a pretty universal thing, because if you come to this country, you have no rating. Now, you might have had a great rating in England, but you have 0 rating in this country. You're Mr. Nobody. And that's how I did it. And I realized that
it's a fair way. I would just say, and this is not attacking you at all, but I would say
I'm not taking it as that.
Right. But I will say a big sell in America of why people go from a company and then 3 months later start leasing right away is because they want to feel like an owner and have ownership, right? And so I think that's a problem that it's a mental problem people have. People say
agreed
that they would rather, if you said right now, you could be a company driver making $100,000 a year, or you could be a owner and make $80,000 a year. You would think people would say, forget it. I'll be a company driver and make $100,000 a year all day long because it's more money.
Right, but they don't look at the overall picture.
They want to be able to post on Facebook that they are now Alex Trucking LLC and tell their mama they made it. And that's just, I don't want to say it's an American dream, but it's a dream that a lot of people have because a lot of us come from the dirt. And it's sad to say, and this is not a target to anybody, but trucking is very easy to get into in comparison to becoming an engineer or a doctor or what have you. So there's a lot of people that, and that's what I love about trucking. I love that people can work hard and get in and make something for themselves. But the truth is, you get a lot of these companies and say, hey, man, you don't like us telling you what to do? You can dictate what you do. Yeah, it seems like we own the truck, but at the very end, you own the truck. But isn't that a catch-22? Because in 5-6 years, that truck might not be sustainable for the job anymore, right? You might have a truck that's not worth anything, right? And again, it's just not an attack to people that are leasing. It's just
it's how you deal with it. It's how you deal with it.
There's something about you having control over your destiny. And if you have bad credit or no credit or nothing, someone offers you, hey, this is your truck. This is yours. No. It's your truck. You don't have to tell people you're leasing. You don't have to tell anything. This is yours. This is your company. But if you try to take that truck anywhere and work it anywhere else, and if you can't, then it's not your truck. Right. And that's not an attack to anybody. That's just
I know, but that's what I tell a lot of these lease guys that come on with Schneider. You got to remember, from the day you start, you don't own that truck. That truck owns you until that you've paid that last payment. So you better get your ass into gear and work. And that's where some of these guys they just lose their stuff. It's
that as well, Mark. You mean that truck owns you until you sell it? I mean, look, success is a lifetime journey. Success, it never stops. It never stops because you can always rise the bar. And it comes back to the mentality of instant gratification, right? Oh, I can take it, like you just said, Alex, with the 100,000 company job or 80,000 owner operator deal or lease operator. It's the instant you're giving up $20,000 for the instant gratification to say, hey, I've done it. When in reality, that isn't success. The success is the journey of going through it. That could be a 50-year journey. It could be a 5-year journey, whatever you decide that to be. There's no
But Stuart, it's like I tell people, this I paid this truck off 2.5 years ago or whatever. You never, even though you pay your truck off, and like through Schneider, that was costing me for that lease purchase with an MMA, it was costing me about 60 grand a year, which was, I'm not going to spend 60 grand on a truck in any forgiven year. So I have there's no reasoning for me to go and buy a brand new truck. Now, yes, I spent 45 grand on last year. This year I'm down to 25. Next year, in engine rebuild, I'm going to be at 25 grand again. I've gone through that long, and I tried to tell these guys that if you can look at it long term, you can absolutely make this work in the most profitable manner. You don't need to kill yourself and stuff like that. You can absolutely make it work. You don't need that new glossy truck. And hold on. DIY's jumped in. That's going to intimidate me now. Hold on. Yeah, he's trying to throw everybody. Hold on, DIY's near.
DIY is here to rally your Brits and put you in the corner.
No, I've met DIY and young Adam's a nice chap. I like Adam. He's a good chap. So
young Adam, who did you meet?
I'm the oldest bastard in this channel. God damn. I'm trying to be beneficial to you lot. So
well, I think the biggest thing at the end of the day is, are you happy? Are you happy at what you're doing? And
yes,
just have
I
that
am.
honest conversation, with yourself.
Yes.
And and that's the thing, it's like
I'm happy from a business point of view. I will put you that I will put that to you, Alex, in my situation.
But compared, like one thing I can say that trucking, that compared to a lot of other industries, like if you go and work at a factory or you go working for some company, some distribution company, you may not make as much money, but you can get yourself 10 paid vacation, 10 paid sick days a year, 2 to 4 weeks vacation, plus a 401k matching pension plan. In trucking, how many truckers, unless you're a company guy, where you get paid vacation? Most owner operators and small carriers, none of us get, brokers as well, do not get paid vacation. We don't get paid, like, unless you set up. That's what makes the grind of trucking.
We don't get vacation at all, much less talk about paid.
How many owner operators actually have health insurance? Let's have that real conversation.
No, seriously, that's 100% right. So I mean, yes, is the lifestyle, the day-to-day lifestyle of trucking and brokering can be great. You have this flexibility. You could take a day off here or there, like you need to go home. You can do that. But how many of the truckers? There's only a few that are saying, "Hey, you know what? If you're like nomadic-brit," I actually met a carrier, a Canadian carrier, that goes back and forth to the U.S. and he works about 8 months of the year because he's older. He's been around. His truck is paid off. He's an owner operator for the company. He works about 8 months, then he goes to a cottage, brings his grandkids and hangs out there, and then he goes back to work. And that was his goal. He wanted to do that. But a lot of people don't have that, where they're taking 4 weeks off and going to Mexico and things like that, right? So it's not, trucking is not that easy.
Oh yeah.
I will say before we start on with this, how on earth we get into this channel with all these decent people in this channel? This is why I watch you, young Steve, because you've got a brilliant crew that come into this channel. So I need to say that. That's all I'm saying.
Thank you, Britt. I agree. I agree, Britt. Thank you.
That's awesome.
That's key. You got to surround yourself with good people. That's key. Right. That's a big part.
Even though DIY is intimidating because nobody's saying anything about DIY.
Why am I intimidating? I'm not intimidating. I'm the
Everybody's
least
intimidated by you.
Person you've ever met.
No, even when I met you and I took you out for donuts, you're a large chap. I'm just saying.
I always smiling.
I know, but you're about 7 foot tall, for Pete's sake. Damn.
Alex, you're not intimidated by me, are you? We've met in person.
Do I need to blink twice or?
That's what I'm saying. God damn.
Hey, Hey, there's a lot of people in here, and that's the thing that's wrong with YouTube. There's a lot of people in here with a lot of experience. A lot of you have 1,000% more experience than I'll ever have in trucking. Right. And so that's why we need to switch the narrative and definitely, I'm going to do my best on my part to try to, do some more panels on my show so that more people can see you guys, because you guys have great information. You know what I mean? And so I'm going to work on doing that more and put together a segment like that. So I think that'd be awesome.
Can we call it "Watch This or You'll Be Dead in 3 minutes"?
Okay. Every single time we're going to do a vote, I'll do a vote and be like, okay, whoever has the most clickbait title, write that in, and then that'll be the next clickbait title for the panel. You know what I mean?
Awesome.
But
I've already
got what about Brit Lives Matter? Yeah, Brit Lives Matter.
I'm not gonna lie. I'm not gonna lie.
Next drug bust at the border, and it's going to be broker using cartel to bring drugs into country.
No. Stuart, it should be Brit Lives Matter. Dang.
No, but this
anyway.
This is the good stuff right here. I mean, and look, we in our own right, we all run our own businesses and we all run our own companies per se, and we're all here on a Saturday. We could be doing anything else, but we're here, we're hanging out, and so that just means that if you got to really love this. I mean, I think we all agree that we think about trucking every damn day, and we also think about why the hell are we still doing it, and why do we still think about it when there's so many other things that you can do. So, I mean, at this point, I think that's really what it takes, right? I mean, everyone would agree that.
But Alex, it also takes the right channels. Now, you've got young Steve and you've got young Adam in here. Those are two channels that most of us follow. That's what you need. Those channels that give you proper information, that give you proper everything, not all that crap that nobody needs to listen to.
Well, I'm going to debate the crap that people listen to just for fun.
Drama ain't it. Drama is not it. It absolutely is not it, especially in this climate.
Not drama, but
I'm gonna have to jump off. Thanks for having me on, guys. Have a good night, guys.
All right. Thanks, Rob, for coming in.
Yeah, I'm about to leave in a second too. But I'm
going to create drama with Alex's Christmas tree, man. That's
hell yeah,
man. Looking Christmas tree.
Yeah.
I did notice that. I didn't want to say anything. I didn't want to just corrupt the poor chap, but
okay.
Yeah,
so
we can see it.
So this is my situation right here, right? So can you even switch? How do you switch the camera around? So how do you switch the camera around?
I don't think you can
know
do it
if you can while you're.
Oh, you can.
Yeah.
So this is some personal information about myself, right? Is I'm the only one that works in my whole entire immediate family, right? So nobody else works but me. So I have my house, and my whole family lives in my house, right? And so that I pay for, and my parents, everybody lives in this big ass house, right? And then me and Jenna, my fiance, she's over there. You guys see her? She says,
"Hey, young lady."
Now,
hi, Jenna.
Yeah, hi, Jenna from the British, the Americans, and have we got any Canadians? No, the Canadians have left the building.
Yeah.
So
she said, yeah, they said hi. So the situation is, I pay for my whole family to live in my big ass house, and me and Jenna live in a 1-bedroom apartment. Just so that we can have our own space, right?
Yeah, you got that worked out then.
So that's some personal information for you guys there. But hey, I'm in a very unique position in my life where for some reason people are watching the channel, and I'm able to be the one to support my entire family. But I think at the end of the day, it's really you just gotta like trucking. I mean, we all think about trucking 24 hours a day.
Yeah, you got to be immersed in this kind of
within reason. Within reason.
Because here's the real question: if you didn't have to truck, would you truck?
In my particular age and situation, yes, I would, because that would make the most money. That in my situation.
No, not money. Yeah, we all have 20 million in the bank for some reason.
Okay, well, I'd be sat on a beach drink. I would be sat on a beach with a Stella bar next to me. So
I've had this conversation with my dad. Right, my dad's done pretty well for himself since he came here, and it comes back down to I love trucking, but it's knowing that I have to do it to pay the bills. When I have the freedom to say, I feel like going to wherever today, and I can just jump in the truck and go home the next day. It's that next level of freedom, right? I think that's the ultimate goal. Is that you want the ultimate freedom.
To me, in SoCal said this a long time ago. The more successful that you are at trucking, the more freedom you will have.
How about you, DIY? What are your thoughts?
Yeah,
trucking can kiss my ass. I'm going farming.
Oh yeah, there's
man.
always one. Yeah, and he's in that chat. He's in the bottom left-hand side. Yeah, that's that chap. But
Yeah. How about you,
yeah,
Gary? What about you, Gary? Well, would you be trucking still? You had $10 million in the bank.
I probably wouldn't. I probably wouldn't be
On this
coming to
chat with
that
us.
decision.
yeah, there's a bunch
I
of
mean,
crazies in that chat.
I mean, I probably because I remember as a young child, fishing and off the boat or off
Yeah.
the deck or off the bank or, just out taking a little knife and whittling on a stick. I mean, that might be what I would be messing around with, freshwater, not out there on the ocean or anything. Just something really, really country hick stick stuff.
Well, I think it's a mindset thing because I have a couple of friends that are millionaires that still drive a truck just because they tried retirement and they felt like they were wasting away. And then
Where do they live, Steve? Where do they live?
Truck and Review Channel said he doesn't have the truck, but he likes it. I'm kind of in this weird middle ground. I haven't done a load in over 180 days, and to be honest with you, there are like very few aspects that I do miss, but there's a lot of aspects I'm like, yeah, I don't miss Atlanta. I don't miss Chicago. I don't miss, I mean, there's a lot of things I like. I mean, and look,
Snob.
I'm second generation.
Yeah. Snob. You're being a snob, Steve. So
I am. I'm a snob.
I ain't gonna ever lie to you guys. Since I've been trucking and making videos since day one, I've always wanted to be a YouTuber. I love this. I mean, I ain't never gonna lie to y'all. I love being a truck, whatever you call it, a trucker, whatever it is. I love it. It's my hobby. It's what I love to do, and that's pretty much.
I tell you what, Adam's got it sorted though, because generally he's got like tons of toilets behind him and everything. So I don't know, and he's also in the hotel room. He's got it sorted. so when he does his lives, that's pretty spontaneous. See, he's got a ton of toilets there. What's that all about?
This is really where I do my lives.
Yeah, he's down in the bloody toilets. What's that all about?
I think you just gotta like what you do. I think
you
for everybody
absolutely
that's listening, just make yourself happy. I mean, if you could make yourself happy, or if you feel like you're not in a position of doing what you actually like to do, try to buy back like some days. You know what I mean? Like if there's if there's 30 days in a month and you could buy back 5 days to do the things you really love, then hey, try to buy back a little bit more days. And I think that's the mental.
The one thing I will say about YouTube now, like Steve has his dynamic, the rest of us have our dynamic. Now, with regard to DIY, now DIY is very different. DIY is so very universal. Now, everybody in this chat should be, apart from promoting yourself, you should be promoting DIY because he is a very universal chap that is way beyond a lot of stuff that we do. And
I agree to that.
That's because I'm a nerd. You don't.
No, but I tell you what, I watch so much of your stuff, Adam. I really do, and I go back over through your old stuff and stuff like that because you talk common sense. You just talk. I don't know. You explain it differently and everything, and it's easy to take on board. And that's why whatever you do, you need to do an awful lot more of that. You definitely need to do a lot more of your money stuff because I'm thinking, God damn, I need to try and work this out every week. I'm waiting for your next video and it doesn't come out. So you need to do more of that monetary value. But
it's been hard.
But your concept on information stuff like that is top of it. I would promote it. Steve promotes it. A whole lot of people promote it, and we all watch it. But Adam is that big nucleus in this family that it helps everybody, and everybody should promote Adam's stuff, as well as everybody else. But Adam's stuff you definitely need to promote,
Oh no, I could agree to that. You know what I mean? It's one of those things where I try to have Adam on the show here and there. I'm trying to have everybody on the show. Actually, out of everybody, I have Adam on the show the most.
We got.
So
We
You ain't had me on the.
We're gonna get.
You haven't had me or Stuart. Yeah. Yeah, Asian Maya hasn't had the British on the show. God damn, what's that all about, Stuart?
We'll do it.
You know, yeah, Stuart.
No, we'll do it. We'll make that happen.
But let's talk about Adam, because Adam, he's
don't like to talk about me.
No, but you're one of the parts, the nucleus of this community. You absolutely are. So,
well.
Hey guys, I'm out of here. I gotta get rolling, so I'll appreciate it. I'll catch you guys later.
All right, guys. All right,
later,
bro.
Stuart.
Stuart, you lightweight. Catch you later.
I know. I got about 3 minutes left, and then I gotta take a nap.
Hey,
Alex, you're another lightweight. What's all the lightweights tonight? But yeah, anyway. But
Alex, I really appreciate you coming in.
Ain't nothing, brother.
I appreciate your support and
yeah.
And I can't wait till the next truck show to hang out with you, man. Are you going to be at Matt's?
Yeah. I think we got like 3 or 4 booths there, so we do our thing over there. You know what I mean? But
so if I'm going to throw out something a little different, if we get you back to Waupun next year, we're going to bring you here. We're going to put you on a tractor, and we're going to have you milking cows.
Nice.
I would love that. Hey,
bet you ain't heard that one before.
No, because there's a segment I want to do that's gonna. I was going to pitch in and do it with TV, like Discovery Channel or whatever. But I think I'm just gonna have it live on my YouTube channel as trucking around the world. So I want to go to England, Dubai, Japan,
England.
Yep. And then the show's gonna be almost like a Dirty Jobs, where like I go and try to like run and grab pigs and go and learn how to be a pig farmer for the day, or go and do all these type of things. So that'd be awesome.
But Alex, before you jump off, just remember for the next few months, life is tough. Just talk to people in this local industry, because that's the pulse of what's going on. And young Adam and Steve are a part of that system.
Oh yeah. It's really what I'm trying to change the Mother Trucker channel to is really just a platform for people to jump onto it. And what ends up happening is, this is what happens. I'm gonna tell you, Brit, nomadic Brit, what happens. Every day I wake up to like 40 to 100 emails, and every one email goes to, "Hey Alex, I just got stabbed by my co-driver." Another email is
I just stabbed my co-driver.
I forgot to do my pre-trip inspection, and both of my axles rolled off, and I killed a cop. And here's the video. And here's another.
I want to see your email inbox. I think you can make content.
Oh, damn.
So, and then, for example, that video that was leaked to me 7 months ago about Too Simple, the self-driving truck that ran into the median. After I released that video, with everything going on, their company evaluation went from $8.5 billion to $400 million. That video tanked that company.
Did they sue you?
Well, I'm dealing with a lot of things with it, but they wrote about me in Wall Street Journal about it and this and that. And so basically what happened 2 days ago is Navstar actually said that they saw the video from my channel and then approached the company about it. And then the company said that they emailed them the video, and Navstar said, "No, you guys didn't." So they lost their trust. So Navstar International and all that, they're not building self-driving trucks with that company anymore. So it even tanked them lower. So now the stock is down to like almost 90 cents. So so I get 100 interview or emails like that, like, "Hey Alex, this is what's happening with this, and this is inside information about, DAT or blah blah blah, Convoy or Schneider." And then one guy will say, "Hey Alex, I do want to make a video about how to keep air pressure." And I go, "Your tire pressure." I go, "I really want to make that video with you, but I'm gonna make this one video about this first." So that's kind of all that is. It's a and here's another part. I actually get, so this is a part that no one actually knows. I probably get at least 5 people a week that call me and say they want to end themselves, and I have to, walk them and talk them and try to tell them, hey man, don't do that type of thing. So it's
I get that a little bit. Yeah.
Yeah.
I can relate to that. Now, here's the thing, Alex. If you're going to go up to Wisconsin to milk cows, you better start practicing.
I don't even know. That's all I'm thinking in my head.
We're not Amish.
Was that right?
We're not Amish.
Damn.
Was that right or not right? Is that what I do?
We'll work on it.
Or do I just kind of like?
I was going to say, because DIY somewhere in there, he can sort it out. DIY can sort everything. So
we got Chucky. We got Chucky in the house, man. What's up, Chucky?
What's happened? Test.
Hey, Mr. Charles.
Hey, what's up?
All right, Alex, you got to go.
No.
Peace out, guys. I appreciate you guys, and we're let's figure it out and let's do a panel.
Absolutely.
And make that happen, and then invite every. There's the clickbait. Every single trucker. How many people can you actually have on one StreamYard link?
9.
9.
9?
9 or 10.
Okay, so that's
I pay for mine, so I might be able to be up to 10. I'm not a
so that's the clickbait.
like these others.
Every single YouTube trucker in the world in one panel, and then it's just gonna show 10 people.
That could be a bit of a car crash. I'm just saying. I'm just preempting that one.
Hey, I just want people to support you guys, and I'm doing everything in my power to do so. So we got to figure out that title.
We appreciate that, Alex. Thank you very much. Thank you for coming in.
Always, brother. You guys be good. Yeah.
Latest.
All right, Chucky, what say you?
I don't know where to go. Well, I was going to touch on the economy aspect of what you guys were talking about earlier, and I was sitting in there to chat. Personally, the way I look at it is this is kind of the beginning of it. And I've been saying since COVID started, and I compare it to the 1900 pandemic, Great Depression, Roaring 20s, and everything. It's just in a condensed form is the way I view it. A lot of the same mistakes, same things are happening. I don't think we've seen the worst of it because, I was talking with Brian Gardner the other day about it and everything. Reason why I say that is both me and him were talking about it. All these big companies, they buy all their stuff on credit. They use somebody else's money for it. They buy the raw materials on it. And that still has yet to hit and come through the supply chain. They're still currently raising interest rate. So it's going to get more expensive for them to buy. The rise on the inflation that we're seeing on the shelves is a prediction of what they think is going to increase. Doesn't mean that 6 months down the road that we're not going to see more of an increase on it. And people are still spending money. Credit is at an all-time high in our nation and everything. And I don't think we've seen the end of it yet. I say probably next year is still going to be rough. We're going to have a lot of families hurting, a lot of people hurting, not just in the trucking, but in our nation in general. And that's when a lot of it's going to start hitting is next year. And then hopefully by 2024, if it stays on that condensed thing and following history, I'm thinking maybe by 2024 we start to see some of a turnaround and everything possibly. But I know that's doom and gloom, but that's just
it's Mr. Charles, it's not doom and gloom, it's being a realist. And I don't understand why people class that as being like a doom and gloom. If you put out your forecast, like with us on Schneider Tanker, now we are being told that we are starting to slow down. Now we are the most profitable part of this whole company. Now, if we're slowing down, that means that everything else within the group is way slowing down because we are the nucleus. And that's why I say I think people need to, if you're going to put it out there, put out the truth, because people need to hear the truth of what's going on around us. So I'm 110% behind you, Charles.
Yeah, well, Britt, there's a couple things that I've been trying to share with you all the way back in the beginning there. I think that some of the things you might consider would be letting those individuals know that they need to work on their self-discipline in order to prevent themselves from, totally tanking. So that means either they're strong-willed enough to take care of themselves and not spend on, things that they don't need. And then the other thing that I wanted to share as a positive note, that I've been hearing that, and if you want to know my source, Wealthy On is one of these YouTube channels. This is a lot of finance, but they are expecting a slowdown through the first quarter in the United States. They talked about three different scenarios, like China is going to be the worse off, and then Europe, generally speaking, second, and then the US is going to experience a little bit, but not quite as bad as the rest of the world. So they're saying that not necessarily jumping and going skyrocketing high like before, but maybe planing out, stabilizing instead of consistently declining in the US. So if that's what you're struggling with, is so many people are recognizing you as a leader, and then you not knowing what to tell them to keep them positive. And that's all that's what I wanted to share.
No, here's the positivity right here. Okay, I've been telling people this for 2 or 3 years because I've been working on it myself. You're going to have to be mentally fit. You're going to have to be financially fit. You're going to have to be physically fit, and you're going to have to be spiritually fit. That's it. And so, if that's what you need to concentrate on, that's what you need to concentrate on. That's your hope, right? Your faith can be your hope. That's where that comes from. And so I mean that's and look, I agree with all the things that are going on. But I mean, at the end of the day, we can only control what we can control. And so and so that's ourselves. If you work on if everybody would just work on themselves as much as going after other people or being everybody else's business, I think that this world would be a better place. I don't know. That's just
all I'm going to add to that is like I say, with regard to what goes on in the rest of the world, I don't. That drama stuff is rubbish. Now you've got something like DIY in this channel. Now DIY's got 10 plus contractors. Now DIY is going to have a concept on what's going on around him, stuff like that. And now he's probably not thinking it's all like, the world is good. Now I understand that young chap saying that that America's not feeling it. I got to disagree with you, sir. America is going to feel this because when the rest of the world stops, the whole America feels it. Now, young Adam is going to feel a whole lot of different things because he's dealing with 10, 15, 20 contract, whatever he's got on. He's got a lot of people working for him. So he's got this bigger understanding that you have than I have. We may have this perception of that America slowing down. Adam's going to have a better perception on it. And young Mr. Charles is going to have a pretty good perception because he's got his truck and stuff like that. He's very fingers on the pulse type thing. Now, Mr. Gary, I don't think I appreciate what you're saying, that you think things are okay here, but from my perception, no, they're not. I don't believe they're not, and I don't think things are going to get an awful lot better for us. I think things are going to get a lot worse for us, but I'm speaking from a tanker driver's point of view. Now, I am in a niche market. I'm pretty much I'm in a lot safer place than van drivers and reefers and stuff like that, because these poor guys go for an awful lot of grief. I don't. I think you've got some hard times coming, and it's not about being a negative person. It's about being a realist. Now, young Steve is a realist. Young Charles is a realist, and young Adam is a realist. Now, if you take it any other concept, that's on you. But if you listen to people like this, that's what you need to listen to, because that's what's coming your way. That's what's here now, and that is what's coming over the next 6-12 months. That's my idea on this stuff, you know.
We got we can even just forget about trucking, you know, for a little bit. Math is a real thing, right? I mean, so they're
Math
too
is
late.
hard.
They're too late trying to fix this. They're behind the 8 ball. They needed to be out in front of this. Now they're not out in front of this. They're chasing it, and they can't catch it, and they can't fix it. They can't get a grip on this inflation because they were too late to the party. Now, as far as next year, I'm trying not to be doom and gloom, but I think it's going to be a lot worse than people think. And the U.S. is not going to be insulated. We have farther to fall than everybody else. Our standard of living is going to take a hit. We're not going to be, I think, any better off than anywhere else. In fact, in some ways, we might be worse off because we've just refused to do the hard things that other countries have
But
done.
Adam, that's why I'm saying people should listen to what you're saying.
Well,
because
okay, I appreciate that, but I mean, if you look at, if you're thinking, things are going to get better in the second quarter of next year, third quarter of next year, well, you have to have a reason for saying that, other than just that's what you think. So you got to look toward the evidence or what's happening. So tell me what is happening that will make things get better. Are interest rates going to fall? No, they're going to go higher. Is inflation going to fall? No, it's going to go higher. Unemployment is going to go higher. Cost of borrowing money for businesses is higher. They invest less. Mortgage rates are continuing to rise. It's going to stifle building. So in the spring, when flatbed would normally kick off because of building, it's not going to, because industry and building is going to still be slow. Nobody is doing anything about these things. We're not doing anything about our energy crisis. Yeah, gas and diesel are falling, but it's not because of a change of policy. It's demand. We haven't done one thing to change our policy to increase our oil supply. There's nothing being done to turn things around. You can't even look 6 months down the road and say this is coming. January,
right? But
we're hitting
Adam,
a new administration. They're largely powerless.
But Adam, people are going to say that you're being negative. No, you're not. You're being a realist.
It's real. So if you told me, okay, in January, we have this new initiative to, increase our energy supplies. We're having a new energy policy, but we don't. We're just doubling down on the policy that caused this in the first place. We have a plan by second quarter next year. We believe we can start to lower interest rates. No, they're continuing to say that they're going to be higher. They're going to go higher. The writing is on the wall. It might just be in a dead language we don't understand, but it's there. The people that can read it know, right? And it's there's nothing. There's no catalyzing event to say that this is going to change anytime soon. We're going to fall deeper into it through first quarter, and it could well be through the whole year. It could be 2 years. It could be how much damage, how far can we fall, and how much damage could be done. It could take decades to dig us out. We could end up like Japan and go in a sideways economy for 30 years.
Right.
Yes, sir. And I mean, you look at it. They're already trying to redefine the terms of the negative and everything. I mean, we're not in a recession right now, according to them and everything. They redefined the recession.
I know that's the dumbest thing.
Whenever something bad happens, we just change the definition. Why do you think they stopped publishing the M3 money supply? Because they didn't want to report of how much inflation there was really out there. They didn't want to report on how much money they're really creating out of thin air.
But inflation has just gone up, and that's the weirdest thing. And now they're talking about what's going to happen the next Friday's figures for unemployment. Is like, really? Does that really come into it now? Because now we are absolutely in full reverse. It's just ridiculous.
And I watched Thanksgiving, Black Friday and everything. And I watched those numbers, and they're trying to make them sound all glory and great and everything. Yes, we spent a good amount of money on Black Friday. They did. But a lot of that was credit. A lot of that was just the excess money.
Credit, yeah, but credit is stuff that people haven't got.
Right. And so yes, they touted that they had good sales, but it really wasn't that great of sales for them, even though they're touting it at that. Because there was a lot of layaway that went on. There was a lot of credit that was bought on credit. and then you also look at just the state of the families, the households, and the way everything is looking is not positive. The amount of houses being sold has declined dramatically.
Right.
And it's now you start to see it in the values, and everything are starting to drop because even though they're out there, there's more houses out there now that are just sitting. The values are finally starting to drop. So you're seeing the indicators that things are going not in a good direction and everything. And that's why I was making that point of the interest rates and everything. We still haven't finished rising and trying to fight the inflation. And
Right.
all these big companies, mega corporations, all their raw materials are bought on credit. And so now it goes from being a 3% that they're borrowing that money over millions of dollars or trillions of dollars to now it's 6, 7, 8. Who knows where it's going to stop? That is a large sum of money. I mean, on $100 million, that's a matter of millions of dollars that they lost. Where is it coming from? How are they going to fix it? One, it's going to come out of our transportation. They're going to try to cut costs there, and then it's going to eventually raise on the shelves, and then it's going to affect the consumers, and then there's going to be less buying. It's a vicious cycle that we're in, and nothing's being done right now to turn it around.
And we also see now suddenly, like, the truck dealerships are being packed out with trucks, and they're not going anywhere. Whereas before, we used to see big spaces in the truck dealerships. Now we're seeing compacted, spaces in these dealerships. There's a big issue going on.
I see that as good to be able to pick up a truck or whatever. Hopefully I can, sustain the new driver that is going to be coming on, and then since interest rates have peaked, I think it was 9%, based on the reports and that what I was listening to. Has gone
Gary, with all due respect, interest rates have not peaked. You're going by what you're seeing and stuff like that. I don't know how long you've been in this market, but this market is still going in the wrong direction. I appreciate what you're saying, that you're going to see trucks getting cheaper and stuff like that, but also credit is going to become more constricted. There's going to be a whole lot of different concepts being thrown into this. Now, I appreciate that you're okay.
Yeah. I have a lot of I even have graduate finance classes, if that helps to bring some understanding to what has happened to me. Associate degree, bachelor's degree, master's degree, and guess what? I'm driving the truck, right? And that's supposedly a bad thing. Well, it's not. So, but that's just my life. So these are the sources that I'm listening to that I find is credible. And if you want to say that the sources that I'm listening to aren't credible, I understand that. However, if you think that the industry is going in a negative direction and will continue to do so for a little while, I agree with that. But what I'm trying to say is 6 months from now, the indicators are showing signs of stabilization in the US, but around the world there may be credit crisis. So sometimes those things happen.
Gary, how long have you been in this industry?
Well, I don't want to beat up on Gary because this isn't. He's talking like outside of trucking. He's talking about generally economic theory, right, Gary?
Yeah, my associate's degree is general studies. My bachelor's degree is economics. My master's degree is business administration with a 6 Sigma Yellow Belt certification. The concentration is global supply chain management. And so, I've been exposed to a lot of the topics, like the broker that was on earlier. So he might only have a bachelor's degree. Sounds like maybe.
Here's the thing that can probably, I think, maybe where you two kind of differ and maybe not realizing it. I think Gary's coming at it from a fundamentally economic standpoint, and Mark, you're coming at it from industry experience. I think there's this place in the middle where economic like history and fundamentals meet with politics, and you can take sound economic theories and put them in the hands of incompetence, and the waters get muddied. Waters get muddled,
And absolutely,
mudded,
and
mudded up.
I've seen, yeah, and I've seen those
Clouded.
Words help.
Yeah, I've seen those instances where my boss or bosses are complete idiots. So while I'm doing the menial tasks every day with my hands, so I'm not coming from it from
Right.
no industry, construction, Teamster, unions, labor. So I'm this really jack of all of everything.
Yeah,
And
I think what gets lost too here, Gary, is you're coming at it from listening to this perspective of educated people. They're smart and they know how general economics works and all that. So they say, okay, we need these policies to manage this and take care of that. We need rising interest rates to stifle inflation. So they do those things. But then you have politicians on the other side of that are continuing to double down on policy that's just going to cause more inflation. So, right, the people you're listening to are right in a sane world where we do these things, solve the problem, and get back to sound economics. But they're doing those things, but yet on the other side, you have these people continuing with the activities that brought us down this road of high inflation and high interest rates in the first place. And they're just barreling down that road, not working on that aspect of the problem. There's kind of two sides to it. What the thing you do to resolve it, and then the policy that got you there, where they're doing the things to resolve it, but they're also continuing with the policies that got you there instead of detouring and taking a different road to approach it from that angle too. I think that's part of the reason why we don't solve this anytime soon.
Yeah, I agree with that. Hey Gary, are you familiar with freight waves?
Yeah, I listen to them as well. I also listen to what is it, Road Dog? Well, I used to listen to Road Dog, but what is it, Landline?
Right.
So I do feel like I have listened for quite a while to formulate a few thoughts in the area as well.
Yeah, no, I don't want to pick, like, I know Gary. Gary's a smart guy. I feel like I got to speak up here, and I don't want to gang up on Gary.
I'm not attacking him either.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. No, I was just going to mention to Gary that, so, it's about perception, and there's a few things that Sonar puts out that makes you go, huh. And one of the things that nobody's really talked about is there also could be the element of what changes the dynamics. Adam brought some really good points, but COVID became a dynamic that changed everything. And so that's something to consider too. But no, I'm not going to beat up on Gary. Gary seems pretty cool. He's been very patient, quietly sitting in the background. So
no, Gary's a smart guy.
Yep. So, hey guys, it's getting late. I really, really, really appreciate everybody coming in and adding your 2 cents to this live feed. I think this has probably been one of my top live feeds. And if everybody hasn't done it already, go to Adam's channel, go to DIY Semi's channel, check out the live feed he did today. That's really important if you're a carrier or a broker or owner, even if you're owner op lease to somebody. And then check out everybody else that's been in this chat, and I appreciate all you guys for coming in and supporting the channel. I really, really appreciate you guys. Thank you very much.
Excellent.
Thank you. Yep.
Nomadic-brit's got a channel too, and Gary's just starting one up also.
Oh,
I know, but I don't do much of mine at the moment, Adam. I've got some stuff going on, so right. Don't bother following me, chaps. So I'm just saying. So, but do follow Adam, Steve, and Adam. You need to follow these 2 channels for definite.
Yeah, thank you. Big Rig CEO goes, seriously, what else do you have to do? I have to go to bed. I'm old, man.
I'm gonna fess up to you here for a second. The reason I had to leave earlier is because it's my dog's birthday and my wife baked a cake and we had to go have a cake with the dog.
Oh, that's live on YouTube. Oh my God, Adam's gonna get crucified for that one.
just so you know where you rate, you're like half hour below my dog.
Yeah. Adam went to his dog's birthday party. Yeah, sod the world.
Yes.
You spoil that dog.
Damn.
He deserves it.
But no, I enjoyed the live feed. I know I joined late and everything. I appreciate you guys all, and you guys are
all right, Mr. Charles.
very
Good to talk to
intelligent.
you.
And I'll leave on this is study as much as you can, become self-reliant, and hold your family close because it's going to be dark winter and it's going to be probably rough next year.
And Mr. Charles realized, and Mr. Charles realized the British are the best, the best ones. So
who? What?
We're the best ones. So yeah, those guys. I'm the third invasion. Just deal with it. All right, I'm working on it. Just laters.
And everybody that's got a channel, share this out. I appreciate it in your community page. I know even you tiny channels got a community page, so share this out. Hit the thumbs up, and yeah, you guys are awesome, man. I love you guys.
Take care.
And we like you, Steve, and we like everybody. So yeah, laters everybody, and just remember, England 1, America 0. So whatever.
Later, everybody. Peace.
Yeah, bugger off. Just